is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The health minister says there's no need to panic over a vaccine shortage, as fears of shortages prompt many to visit one of the country's vaccination sites, and two perish in a plane crash in the Abacos. All straight ahead this morning, I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of the new way. You know it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Don Sargent will be joining us. Also this morning in Morning Blend Business, we are talking the business of celebrating independence as local musicians express their anger about not being included in the national celebrations to mark the independence of the country. We'll get some of their views on how things should have been done. That's coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, two pilots believed to be Bahamians killed when their jet crashed in bushes near Treasure Key International Airport in Abaco. It was shortly after 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Police say the aircraft, an IAI Westwind, was engulfed in flames when officers arrived at the scene. Police reported that the airplane was observed taxiing, and a short time afterwards, smoke and flames were seen coming from the airplane. Two pilots on board the aircraft, when it crashed, were told further checks were made and there were no signs of life on board. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll saying the bodies were burned beyond recognition. Roll says authorities were in the process of recovering the bodies as of 7 p.m. yesterday. Minister of Tourism and Aviation, Dionisio de Aguilar, said the plane arrived on Abaco from the Dominican Republic on Friday. Health Minister Renard Wells advising Bahamians not to panic over the limited supply of COVID-19 vaccines in the country. He says the government is having discussions about securing additional doses. He says the administration has decided that whatever it is that they're going to do within the confines of health and safety, they will continue to do to ensure that people are vaccinated. Meanwhile, a steady stream of people queued up at Loyola Hall on Glasson Road yesterday, eager to get vaccinated, but those who had not made appointments were turned away. Loyola Hall is now the only site open in New Providence for the administration of the vaccine. It will only remain open until Wednesday. Over in Bimini, with severely limited doses of the vaccine, key players on the island are trying to organize a trip to Florida for residents to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Residents are now subject to stringent restrictions as a result of a surge in COVID cases, the most recent to affect the small community since the pandemic took hold. Bimini Island Administrator Cleola Cooper-Pinder confirming that the effort to get people to the U.S. for the vaccine is underway, but emphasized that it is a private, community-organized initiative. Social Services Minister Frankie Campbell testifying that he was hurt and annoyed by a viral voice note that alleged he impregnated the daughter of a woman he intimately was involved with, and voice note subjected him to ridicule and embarrassment. Beach vendor Caprio Saunders is on trial before Magistrate Samuel McKinney for intentional libel in relation to the recording. In his testimony, Campbell branded the claims made in the voice note, circulated on WhatsApp, as a malicious lie that injured his reputation. His wife, Catherine, was in court for moral support. Overseas, the pressure of hosting an Olympics during a still active pandemic is beginning to show in Japan. The Games begin July 23rd, with organizers determined they will go on even with a reduced number of spectators, or possibly none at all. While Japan has made remarkable progress to vaccinate its population against COVID-19, the drive is losing steam because of supply shortages. With tens of thousands of visitors coming to a country that is only 13.8% fully vaccinated, gaps in border controls have emerged, highlighted by the discovery of infections among the newly arrived Team Uganda, with positive tests for the highly contagious Delta variant. As cases grow in Tokyo, some have fears that the Games will spread the virus. Organizers, the International Olympic Committee, and others are expected to meet this week to announce new restrictions because of the fast-changing coronavirus situation. And Pope Francis ate breakfast today, read the newspapers, and took a walk as he continued recovering from intestinal surgery. The Vatican declaring its post-operative checks to be good and normal. A statement from a Vatican spokesperson saying that he slept well during the night following the surgery on Sunday. The 84-year-old Francis underwent 3 hours of surgery to remove half of his colon after he suffered a narrowing of the large intestine. He's expected to remain in hospital in Rome, which has a special suite reserved for popes. He'll continue there through the week, assuming no complications. In sports, building on the excitement of the inaugural World Life Invitational, or World Athletics Continental Tour Silver Meet, the NACAC, North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association, looking forward to its own series of meets in 2022. The first NACAC Athletics Tour, featuring about 5 to 10 meets around the region, set for the early months of next year, according to NACAC President, our own Bahamian Mike Sands. He says this is something that was in the planning stages for some time, and they're excited to bring it to fruition. NACAC is set to accommodate some of the established meets in the region as circuit events and climax the Tour Life Invitational in the summer of 2022. You can read more about this in today's Guardian Sports section. And former Bahamian baseball player Jackie Wright has passed away on Saturday after a prolonged battle with cancer. Wright, who came up through the Bahamas Baseball Association in the mid-1970s, reached as high as Double-A baseball in the minors. He played 3 seasons with the Boston Red Sox organization, starting off with the Elmira Pioneer Red Sox in New York, Pennsylvania League in short Season A baseball, moving on to the Winter Haven Red Sox in the Florida State League, in Single A and then moving up to the Bristol Red Sox in the Eastern League in Double A before being recalled to Winter Haven. You can read more about his accomplishments in today's Guardian Sports section. Jackie Wright was 64. Overseas from hockey, the Canadiens beating the Lightning 3-2 in overtime, avoiding a stamp sweep. And all set for the NBA Finals Game 1 set for tonight. The Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks are playing tonight. Game 1 in Phoenix. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your first look at weather for today, we've got rain bands associated with Tropical Storm Elsa that will continue to affect portions of the Bahamas today, while high pressure will generate moderate area. Boaters should remain alert for the threat of waterspout activity in showers or thunderstorms. Swimmers and beachgoers should be alert for rip currents along east and south coast beaches, and especially in the waters of the Great Bahama Bank. And localized flooding is expected in low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall events. Again, residents being advised to limit outdoor activities and remain hydrated due to triple-digit heat indices. For today, for the Northwest Bahamas, your forecast calls for cloudy to overcast, hot and breezy conditions with scattered showers and thunderstorms, heavy at times, through tonight. Small craft should exercise caution. Winds southeasterly at 15 to 20 knots, gusting at times seas 4 to 7 feet higher in gusts. For the central and southeast Bahamas, variably cloudy, hot and breezy with a few isolated showers and a thunderstorm possible, becoming fair and warm tonight with passing showers. Small craft caution continues. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts, seas 4 to 7 feet higher in gusts. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index up to 103 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius today. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Yeah, it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Stay a step ahead of technology with certainty and support from Custom Computers. Our know-how team is here to help on your next big tech purchase, finding solutions that take your productivity to the next level using only the best and most reliable brands. With 4 stores all across Nassau on East Bay, West Bay, Old Fort Bay, and Palmdale, there's no stopping you from stepping up your tech. Reach out to us at 396-1100. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations, unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value. Upgrade or sign up today. Visit any BTC store store or btcbahamas.com. Conditions apply.
Let's face it, in an increasingly competitive market, your business needs a competitive edge. That means offering your employees the benefits they want. Give them the benefit of retiring their way with the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. Choose from some of the best performing investment funds in the market while taking advantage of low administrative costs and professional management. Whether you're a team of 2 or 2,000, our pension specialists can design a plan for you. Contact us at pensions@rfgroup.com to learn more about the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. RF, money at work.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
RBC Royal Bank introduces our new Saturday banking services on Saturday, July 17th at Cable Beach, Carmichael, and Prince Charles, operating 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. New services will focus on helping clients with advice-oriented needs and RBC Digital Banking. Cash will only be available through our ATMs and accepted for deposits via our ATMs or non-stop depository services. If you have questions, call our advice center at 356-8500. Reimagine Saturday services with RBC.
As a people, Bahamians are anxious about the future. Feeling down and out, unsure in these unprecedented times? We need to believe that love's coming back. Join us Tuesday, July 13th at 11 a.m. at lovescomingback.com for the virtual launch of Love's Coming Back, an inspiring new anthem from Grammy Award-winning founding member of the Eurythmics, songwriter, producer Dave Stewart, which will premiere globally at 12 noon. Presented by Bay Street Records, Bahamas National Trust, and BrylandAid.org.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Don Sargent. Good morning, Don.
Morning, Dwight.
Great to have you with us as always. Hope you've been doing well.
Yes. Still alive.
Okay, looking forward to independence, I'm sure. Or not. Nope. Okay. Well, there you go. Hey,
no, I didn't hear you.
I say, oh, you're looking forward to independence, I'm sure, or at least the holiday. Yeah,
sure.
I think we got it. That first non-response. But hey, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later as well. Celebrating independence, and especially with Bahamian artists who are upset that they're not going to be secular artists, not going to be included in the virtual celebration that is planned. We're going to talk about that, the business of celebrating independence. What do people want? What do people expect? What should be included? And should this be in the hands of the government? We're going to talk about all of that this morning in Morning Blend Business. But right now, we've got a lot of other stuff to get into in the news. And in the news, There's a tragedy coming out of Abaco. 2 perish in a plane crash there. 2 pilots believed to be Bahamians were killed when a jet crashed in bushes near Treasure Key International Airport in Abaco shortly after 3:30 p.m. yesterday. Police say the aircraft, an IAI Westwind, was engulfed in flames when officers arrived at the crash site. Police reported that, quote, initial inquiries revealed that the airplane was observed taxiing and a short time smoke and flames were seen coming from the airplane. Additionally, 2 pilots were on board, and when it crashed, further checks were made, and there were no signs of life on board. Police Superintendent Stephen Roll says the bodies were burned beyond recognition. Roll said authorities were in the process of recovering the bodies as of 7 o'clock last night. Now, Minister of Tourism and Aviation, Dionisio de Aguilar, said the plane arrived on Abaco from Dominican Republic on Friday. He says that it dropped off some foreign visitors. The plane then filed a flight plan to fly from Treasure Key to Nassau. He says, quote, we don't know the intention, but it was probably to refuel, and in taking off, the plane crashed. A video, which was recorded by Pastor Silbert Mills, showed a plume of smoke rising from flames at the crash site. Other images of charred, mangled plane parts were also widely circulated on social. North Abaco Administrator Terence Boodle Lang says the flames and location of the crash made it difficult for emergency services to access it. And this is a real tragedy there. Very unfortunate, and condolences going out to the families of those 2 victims there. What? And there are some pictures in the Nassau Guardian today. They are, that is quite sad. Quite sad. All right. So, in other news, COVID and the vaccines, and now vaccine shortages. The Minister of Health, Ernest Wells, says there's no need to panic, though. The government is working on it, working on this, and hoping to get this resolved as soon as possible. Take a listen to this report from our Jasmine Brown.
The health minister addressed concerns about the low vaccine doses after all but one vaccine center on New Providence shut their doors. Vaccines are currently only being administered on Gladstone Road, and persons without appointments were turned away. When asked if that should be a cause for concern, Wells said this.
No, the Bahamian people don't have to panic. As I said, this administration from the beginning, we had decided that whatever it is that we are going to do within the confines of health and safety rules, to continue to vaccinate our people, that we're going to do.
On Sunday, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnish revealed the Bahamas has engaged in a vaccine exchange with Antigua and Barbuda for 5,000 doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. He said the doses have already been collected. PAHO officials have said the Bahamas will also receive its third tranche of 33,600 doses of AstraZeneca through the COVAX facility on July 26th. Wells says they are also trying to secure an additional 20,000 doses of vaccines through an exchange with St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And then once we would have received our tranche, we would return those doses to the various Caribbean countries from which we would have gotten.
While he could not say when those doses from St. Vincent, he did reveal that they are looking to secure Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines later this month, though he could not say how many doses they expect.
We're also very close on 2 different tracks to receiving Pfizer, one through CARFA, the Caribbean region, because the Prime Minister and his other Caribbean colleagues have been in direct negotiations with the United States, and the U.S. will be donating vaccines to the region through CARICOM, and we're looking forward to those being from Pfizer.
As of July 3rd, nearly 96,000 doses of the vaccine have been administered in the Bahamas. Wells was also asked if the administration has made any decision on whether to extend the state of emergency next month.
I think the Bahamian people can look forward to based on the health team recommendation, us moving into a much more open environment.
Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right. So, a lot of people from queuing up, well, at least they did. People who weren't registered, who didn't do the online registration part, they queued up at Loyola Hall, the last site that is administering vaccines, and they were turned away. And Loyola Hall is only going to be functioning for a few days as well. Let's listen to this report, and then we'll get your views on what's happening here. This is a report from our Jillian Gray.
The line at Loyola Hall bobbed and weaved down the sidewalk. Some came for their first shot, others for their second. But the urgency was even greater, as some said they were nervous that with vaccines in the country running low, they weren't going to be able to get the jab.
Yeah, I'm concerned. That's why I'm here rushing to get mine. I need it. That's it. I need mine.
Well, I was concerned about not getting the second shot because a lot of persons were out there saying that the government or Ministry of Health ran out of vaccines, but there's no shortage of vaccine, as you see behind us.
The Bahamas has exhausted the 87,200 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine it received earlier in the year and had to engage in a vaccine exchange to get 5,000 doses from Antigua and Barbuda. 96,000 doses have been administered thus far, and the government is hoping to receive the next tranche of vaccines from the COVAX facility soon. Nina Green counted herself lucky to get registered for her first shot.
I went on the site a few times, and I noticed that they haven't had any sites open for the last few days. So I was really happy when I was able to get in and get booked for today. Protect your loved ones. I have older family members. I haven't seen my grandmother in I don't know how long now. So yeah, I really want to just keep my family members as safe as possible.
Not everyone was so lucky, though. With Loyola Hall as the only vaccine site on New Providence, the walk-ins who would have gone to Church of God of Prophecy came by to try to get the jab. Maureen Musgrove came with her 91-year-old father and 80.
This is my first shot, and it took me a while to get here today. You know, it took me a while to get here.
Kind of build up.
Yeah, it built up the nerve to come out today. I'm just going to do it.
Do you think that you're going to try to come back again?
It's going to take me a while again. I am going to do the shot, but it's going to take me a while again to come back out of.
She's not alone. Two others who didn't want to be interviewed told us that they had challenges booking an appointment online and tried to walk in or sign up on site, only to be turned away. COVID cases and hospitalizations continue to climb in the country, and these residents say it's more important now than ever before to get vaccinated, especially with the spread of COVID variants.
Delta situation going on, so, another strain, you never know what they're going to do to people that's not vaccinated. So, and specifically young kids. You know what I mean? So,
States right now, there's a Delta variant, and there are persons who have contracted the new Delta variant, and the persons who have contracted the new variant have not been vaccinated. So it clearly states that if you're vaccinated, you're protected.
Benjamin Forbes and Ron Frazier, who both came for their second shot, say staying safe is the most important thing.
And I'm waiting for everybody to kill this COVID so we can open this country right back up fully.
Oh, yes, I would encourage, because I was getting mine some World War II, and every time I went on the contract, I get a vaccine. You see my arm here? All lot of vaccination. This is World War II one here.
For the Guardian News Network, I'm Jillian Gray.
Okay. Let's get your views on it. What do you make of this? Do you feel confident that the government is going to get the vaccines in time? Do we really have to look at the big picture here and be concerned about what exactly is happening here? Or is this just a temporary blip on this journey? Let's talk about it. Give us a call, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Don, what do you make of what's happening here?
A little surprised that the demand's that high. Not saying that's a bad thing. It's just based on what I've heard people around me, people calling to shows and stuff say, it didn't seem like there was a crazy demand for it. But I don't know. Words can be deceiving sometimes. I'm also
or the people
curious.
who call talk shows are of a different mindset from other people.
Well, not just only, even on social media, there's a avalanche of persons who are absolutely against vaccines and stuff. So I just assumed that there wouldn't be a lot of people trying to get it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also interested to see how the situation with Pfizer works out. And also paying attention to the news for the last 2 days. It seems as if Europe or the EU or the Schengen region is in kind of a disagreement with itself as I guess more than half of the EU countries won't accept people in from countries that have gotten the Indian version of the Oxford vaccine.
Right.
And then like a handful of them right now have already approved it and said that persons from those countries that have received that vaccine will be able to enter. So I'm just very interested to see how this whole thing plays out. I think a lot of Bahamians are waiting for another option in terms of Pfizer. At least that's from what I've heard. But I guess that's good news to hear that a lot of persons are trying to get the vaccine and get out of this situation that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? When I started, you got your first shot as well.
Yes. I think you're right. I think that is what's happening here. And I do believe that a lot of people were holding out for something else. People still talk about Johnson & Johnson quite a bit. We see what's happening in Bimini, a private group trying to organize a trip for residents there to go over to Florida to get Johnson & Johnson. And, people have been looking for other vaccines. And you're right. We talked about this on the show yesterday. We spoke with Dr. Nakia Forbes about that as well. What's happening with the EU? Why would they do this? What does that mean? Because we had a big debate on the show on Friday about whether this is actually a generic version. Why would the EU take such a stance? And this is just the EU once again trying to destroy its former colonies. I don't understand what that's all about. But it is mind-boggling that a WHO vaccine would get treated, approved vaccine would get treated this way by those countries. But of course, they love to blacklist us as well. So what do we expect? But so with Pfizer, possibly, we've been hearing this for so long, though, possibly on the way. Mid-July, that's almost here. But that and others, we've been told possibly. We will see. 885-4316-325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. This text here, I'm laughing because I could have written this vaccine story 3 months ago. Why do we wait for the last minute? Oh, you mean the people? I think, okay. Hey, I think a lot of people were waiting to see what happened to the folks who took the vaccine and got both doses to see if they're okay. And okay, well, so you've got no hair coming out of your eyes, so this is going to be okay. And I think that's what it is. Another one here, okay, well, this one says they have no confidence in the utterances of the Minister of Health. And another one, Canada has also stopped using the AstraZeneca. I don't think that's true. That's not right. I will look that up, but I don't think that is correct. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Don.
Hi.
I find this conversation a bit hilarious. Because I remember when the EU had their issues with clotting and everyone was scared that the vaccines that they were getting in the Bahamas was same batch. But they say, oh, no, that's just the European batch. That's the type that they were creating in Europe that's causing the clots and all that. Now Europe is saying, well, we're not going to look at the vaccines that were created by COVAX, being supplied by COVAX, because it could be because it is the generic version. Now we're saying, well, they're just racist because they don't want to accept a generic brand in their country. You don't see the irony in that?
It is puzzling.
But what the KFOS didn't say is that it is a generic brand.
Right. She did not say that it is. She says the same thing, just manufactured.
It is a generic brand, and she's just playing word politics at that point. Because if it's not, and basically dances around the issue. Just call it what it is. If you be open and honest with the public would more likely be willing to accept these things. And that I've been having with this COVID issue from day one. All the oligarchs, the legal scholars, the bureaucrats.
Yeah. I don't know if it's...
Health officials have not been open and honest with the public about this.
Yeah. I mean, to qualify as a generic, I think you have to meet certain criteria, and I'm not sure.
Right.
I mean, we know that they're different. They're products that we buy that are made in different factories all over. That doesn't mean it's generic. It's got the same... It is built to the same standard.
Is Motrin the same as a CVS pharmacy Motrin or ibuprofen?
It doesn't claim to be.
Because one is the brand name, which is Motrin, and the other is a offshoot ibuprofen. The same thing with the AstraZeneca virus that's made in India versus the one that's made in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to any pharmacist, they'll tell you that the efficacy of medication changes based on who makes it.
Well, again, but those are very clearly generics. Very clearly, right? If this is made by a company according to the specifications sent directly from another company, but a case can be made. Definitely a case can be made. It is not clear.
It is generic. Why don't you call the head of the pharmacy and ask them that? Let's see if they actually be open and honest with that.
Well,
just call them.
Yep.
I'll let you listen.
All right. Thank you very much. We've been having this debate for a few days. We it is quite something, and the EU is not making this an easier situation by what it's doing. Let's hear what you have to say. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Glenn. I'd like to make a comment about independence, about the vaccine.
Oh, both together. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Lyndon and those, they went to put us on the path to independence. I don't think most people are fully aware of that, because it only could be to independence simply because, the Queen is all up in that book that they brought back, that yellow book. So obviously we do not celebrate independence. We were put on the path. Unfortunately, the leaders that we have been elected since the Lyndon did not see that vision. And that's sad. And we continue to elect persons who really don't see the vision. We were on the path. And until some leader grab that and move forward with that, then I will celebrate independence. I would advise anybody who wants to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. If you don't want to get it, don't let anybody push you to get it. If your immune system is pretty good, try to keep it up, because you don't know what other side effects may eventually surface from these, this political war that's going on with all these vaccines. Come on, man, something got to go wrong if they're fighting over it, eh?
Wow.
Huh? Give me a break here.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking me.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Huh. Oh, boy. All right. This one here, this text says, I don't think they're telling us the full story. The UK and Israel reported that 1/3 of the people who died from the Delta variant were fully vaccinated. In any event, they bungled the messaging from the start. If cabinet ministers hadn't started that why y'all can't behave line like they were talking to children, they would have gotten greater compliance. You think so? I'm not sure about that one. But, okay. All right. Yep. Call us, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Yep. So I don't know. I don't know what where we go from here. It has always been, every single step we take, there has been an issue. There's been a challenge. And, the vaccine shortages around the globe.
Vaccines, or just
with the vaccine process. And this isn't helping the shortages and the global shortages, not just with us. It isn't something that we could have avoided, it seems.
It's. I just read a whole thing on this. I don't know if I would agree and say it's a catch-22, but it's a kind of a screwy situation, because as wealthier countries essentially achieve higher numbers of persons vaccinated, they themselves then relax restrictions. Supply globally is still choked, obviously, but the problem it creates is when countries that do not have the resources, obviously, to manufacture their own vaccine or can get their hands on the vaccines, are the countries that the new variants are coming from. And the new variants are more resistant to basically all the vaccines. I would not want to test the theory personally or advise anybody to test the theory of which vaccine is most resistant to the Delta strain of the coronavirus. And from what I read, is just like there are other strains as well of this virus popping up in places where persons are unable to get vaccines. And I don't know, it's kind of like I don't know the answers to this issue, because it seems as though every step of the way it gets more complicated. I guess Eventually, they say it's going to burn out. We'll see. As the person is talking about the wording of what's been happening with the vaccine, things have been all over the place with it, which is why I don't have an answer for that. Which is why I just said, get it if you want to get it. If not, that's but I guess options are always a good thing. But also in reference to the situation with independence, one thing I've noticed is that Bahamians who are born prior to independence or just after independence have a completely different worldview, which is fine, to Bahamians who are born, let's say, after the Pinling era or born in the middle of, the quote unquote government in the sunshine, or even in the first Christie administration, which would have been in 2002, which would make them around 18, 19 years of age. So I'm very interested to see, let's say within not even the next 5 years, but just the next 2 or 3 years, how those perspectives will, can take. There'll be more people probably that aren't. It's a very politically correct way for me to say this, right? Whose perspectives on independence aren't as happy. Not saying that we shouldn't be an independent country, but the direction we've been headed in, I don't think most people would disagree in saying hasn't been the best as of the last couple of years.
Wow.
That's a very correct way of saying that.
All right, we're going to talk more about independence in just a bit. All right, so this person texted in about Canada. So that's not correct to about Canada abandoning AstraZeneca, but what they're saying is that as more doses, their supply of Pfizer and Moderna increases and it becomes more available, it is possible that Canada may phase out AstraZeneca. It's possible. So AstraZeneca's been under pressure from day one, it seems, and that will not let up. So I don't know. But as we discussed yesterday and last week as well, the more and more studies recommending mixing, and they're telling people who had their first shot of AstraZeneca, they seem to do very well with second shot being either Pfizer or Moderna, and even better than AstraZeneca followed by AstraZeneca. So every week we seem to hear something new. We seem to hear something different. So it is it's been quite something. But you're fully vaxxed, Don. No issues. You're feeling well. Nothing new that wasn't there a few weeks ago, right?
No, I haven't grown any extra limbs yet. I'm saying yet, like I'm expecting an arm to pop out of my back, right? No, I haven't had any issues. I was looking forward to eventually, because I saw that the EU was opening up to persons who got vaccinated, and I was like, all right, great. And I was like, oh yeah, and then this whole thing with the Indian variant. I think, to my knowledge, only like 3 countries. Well, I don't know. The UK is not a part of the EU anymore, but obviously the UK, Spain, and Germany were the 3 that said that they were accepting persons. Well, they've approved the Indian variant of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Something which I find very odd too, because some of those vaccines also made it to Europe. I think there were 5 or 6 million doses. But anyway, yes, I haven't had any issues, but I was looking forward to that. But that's not going to happen.
We do need the EU to explain itself, though. This is very bizarre. In some countries, especially in Africa, they're very angry about what they're hearing and wondering what's going on here because, of course, the WHO was very, I don't know, say pushing these vaccines, pushing COVAX on these countries, and they're like, well, and now the EU is going to use this. It is very, very weird and suspicious, and I'm telling you now, we really need to reevaluate our relationship with the EU. Every single month there's something. If it isn't this, it's a blacklisting. What is up? What is up? What is up on that? I've said it before. I think it's time for countries like the Bahamas in this region, everybody to come together and say, okay, it's time for us to stop playing nice and bending over backwards to accommodate these folks who really don't seem to be in this very much good. And it's time, I've said it before, time to consider some boycotts. I don't know if we should be going to Paris for the Olympics. I don't think we should. Other countries on board, right?
Well, we'll be seeing some things happening in the next couple of days, I believe. Especially countries like Russia and China are going to be having ginormous smiles on their faces, like great. And not saying that's a bad thing. Just saying it is what it is. And their vaccines are going to look far more attractive to many developing nations who will be looking at this and was like, well, maybe we shouldn't be trusting yada, yada, yada. And then, I don't know. There's a lot of games being played in the whole scenario.
I mean, the caller was right. It's all politics. It's very unfortunate now people are very concerned and worried about things they probably shouldn't necessarily get into. And this is...
Yeah, and I'm not so convinced that it's necessarily against developing nations, especially those in Africa and the Caribbean. It seems more directed, at least from the stories that I've read, it seems more directed at the UK.
Yeah.
And, the ongoing kerfuffle.
Well, as usual, when there are kerfuffles in Europe, the other countries around the world get stomped on while they battle it out. And so this is no different. And it's really unfair. But, like I said, consider it. Maybe not French wine, maybe not Italian, something else. Australian, perhaps, New Zealand, or American. I don't know.
Get some Juvento, man.
I think that's French, actually. I think that is French. That is, yeah.
Just go and rum.
Right.
It's good. The more subtle molasses-based libations,
The stuff made around here. Yeah, perhaps. Let's take this call. I don't know. They have said this stuff, but they've not given a reason. What is the reason? If you're accepting AstraZeneca, what is the problem? We would really like to know this. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning to the host of my show.
Hi, good morning.
And on Tuesday, my favorite guest on my favorite morning show. Good morning to you two gentlemen. I want to get right to the point. Good morning to the Bahamian people who are so faithful to life itself and to the Bahamas plight as a country. I say good morning to all of you. This is what I want to say this morning, just for less than a minute. I have a meeting with the Minister of Tourism, Minister Honorable Dionisio Diagla. After the meeting of that appointment, that will determine whether or not, or I should say how fast I will decide if I will take the vaccine, whatever vaccine. See, for me, I trust doctors. I have 3 children. Doctors brought them into the world. Doctors brought my mother and father into this world. I trust doctors more than politicians. But when politicians that I know are playing games with the honorable sovereign citizen of this country, with every aspect of our lives, then I use my civil disobedience in a good way to not take the vaccine.
Well, okay. Civil disobedience. Well, I think only one person's going to get hurt there, but... Well, okay, I hope your meeting goes well. Keep us posted. Yeah. All right. Let's read a few more of your messages before we take a break. This one says, my suggestion is to put God first in everything you do. This world is full of evil people. Okay, that's very random, but good advice. Very good advice. This one says, Jesus came to save lives and millions rejected him. It is a personal choice. The vaccine was developed to save lives and millions rejected it. It is a personal choice. I am fully vaccinated. Good for you. Wonderful, wonderful. This one says here, so Lyndon those did not write our Constitution. They did not fight for our independence, nor are they the founding fathers. Independence was a trend taking place throughout the colonies, and our Constitution is only a carbon copy of that time. Amazing how history is revised and twisted. Okay. And this one says here, why did the government exchange for the vaccines from the Caribbean islands. Why? What's the issue? Those people had some, and that was great. Thank you very much. What's the problem? What do you explain? We'll wait for your text. We'd love to hear. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, more, and we're going to get into independence as well, and how we should be celebrating independence. And I talk about that for most of the show this morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Our freedom so long in coming, also happy for you to cry. I'm not one to make believe that there's a lot of politics I can't begin to conceive, but I know that if we had lost in 71 to the late, we would have been independent since 1968.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
.33 the time for your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. In your real-time traffic this morning, we're seeing heavy traffic on Sir Miles Butler Highway. Northbound lanes as usual. North of Fire Trail, you'll be seeing that all the way up to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. Gladstone looking a little bit better for you in the northbound lane to JFK Drive this morning. Elsewhere, we've got some building traffic on Blue Hill Road, north of Soldier Road. The northbound lanes heading towards that roundabout with Independence Drive. And elsewhere, not looking so bad. We've got traffic moving, not even so bad at the major intersections so far. We'll see how things look in just under an hour after 8 o'clock news with another update for you. But that's your Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, Banking Reimagined. Another check of your weather for today brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. We've got rain bands associated with Tropical Storm Elsa that will continue to affect portions of the Bahamas today, while high pressure will generate moderate to fresh winds across the area. There are special warnings. Boaters should remain alert for the threat of waterspouts, in or near showers and thunderstorms. Swimmers and beachgoers should be alert for rip currents along east and south coast beaches and in the waters of the Great Bahama Bank. And localized flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas is possible during heavy rain showers. And everybody's being advised to limit outdoor activities and remain hydrated due to triple-digit heat indices. For today, for the Northwest Bahamas, your forecast calls for cloudy to overcast, hot and breezy conditions with scattered showers and thunderstorms, some heavy at times through tonight. Smoke-craft should exercise caution. For the central and southeast Bahamas, variably cloudy, hot and breezy with a few isolated showers. And thunderstorm possible, becoming fair and warm tonight with a quick passing shower. Smallcraft caution continues. Temperature, partly cloudy skies in Nassau. Look for highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make you feel like 103 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, we're expecting pleasant weather conditions to return to the islands as Elsa's influence will leave the area, and this will allow high pressure to build across the archipelago with moderate to fresh breezes behind it. So for tomorrow, Wednesday, look for partly sunny, hot and breezy conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Fair and warm at night with passing showers or a thunderstorm. Thursday, Partly sunny, hot and breezy with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Fair and warm at night with passing showers or thunderstorms. With Elsa, as of 5 o'clock this morning, Elsa was about 268 miles southwest of Red Bay's Andros, or 50 miles southwest of Key West, Florida. Elsa is moving toward the northwest at 12 miles per hour, and this general motion is expected to continue today. On the forecast track, Elsa will pass near the Florida Keys this morning and move near or over portions of the west coast of Florida later today. Maximum sustained winds are near 60 miles per hour with higher gusts. Slow strengthening is forecast through tonight, and Elsa could be a hurricane, or near hurricane strength at least, before it makes landfall. That is the latest on Elsa, and that is your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. Rev, you and us together.
The summer you deserve is here at Alive. We do it better. Capture more moments and go further with our prepaid plans for everyone. Roam free with connected with MiFi on the go, anywhere, anytime. We do it better with more device offerings, accessories, exclusive deals with the list, and so many opportunities to win big. From travel vouchers, grocery vouchers, Alive merch, and more. Alive, believe in best.
Me in your pocket, take me away, yeah, I'm ready for you.
Travel less, but vacation more by indulging yourself and your family with the ultimate staycation getaway at Atlantis. Sleep in, relax, play, go out. Say yes to a fantastic staycation in your very own paradise just over the bridge. For reservations, call 363-6483 or visit Atlantis Local on Facebook for details.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Was a deep sea diver, and when I want to pass I would mash the gas. I was a taxi driver, I say I was a taxi driver. I was a deep sea diver, and when I want to pass I would mash the gas. I was a taxi driver. Now tourists don't really know how come go. A car coming on the other side, between the seat they won't hide. Look out, they shout with discontent. They think we have an accident.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, Don Sargent on this Tuesday morning. We're talking about what's in the news, talking about the vaccines and vaccine shortage here for the moment. So somebody asked before the break, I think they tell me I read their text incorrectly. They said, what did the government exchange? Not why. What did the government exchange for the vaccines from the Caribbean? All right, so yeah, we talked about that. But Minister Wells says that the government is seeking to borrow additional doses from another Caribbean country. There's a discussion for the 20,000 from St. Vincent, and then once we have received our tranche, we would return those doses to the various Caribbean countries which we've gotten them from. So borrowing from their pool to return it to them when we get more. And others are pointing out that these vaccines have expiration dates as well, so if they have them just sitting around, it'll be best for them to get them to somebody else before they have to throw them away. So perhaps that is part of it as well. Yeah. All right. This person says here, Dwight and Don, you said that you will consider Australia rather than the UK. No, that's not what we said. We said if we're going to do this, perhaps instead of the French wine or the cheese or the Riesling or whatever from Germany or whatever it is from Italy. Perhaps consider an Australian wine or something from there, or the U.S. or whatever. That's what we said. Not moving there, but they go on to say business of Australia are originated in the U.K. and Britain. I mean, what does that have to do with anything? Okay, do the citizens of the Bahamas show any obligation to where they originated from? Yeah. So I don't understand. What about it? And the UK is no longer part of the EU. The UK is no longer part of the EU.
I understand the person saying, but don't forget. Yes, and they also have a sizable chunk. Well, not a size. Well, about 6 to 7 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine they got from India as well. So it's not like they're the ones doing the discriminating in this case, or not approving anything.
Right.
So no, that's not the case here.
Exactly. Another text here. I believe in trust, and I believe trust and emotions play a big part in the choice to vaccinate. Okay. Note that once the Prime Minister took a less public approach from trying to bully Bahamians to vaccinate, that the demand seems to have increased. Is that what it is? Additionally, Dr. Forbes and the media are cherry-picking which facts they're informing the public about regarding infection rates among the vaccinated. And that's still possible to contract COVID even though vaccinated. No, everybody has said that from day one. Everybody has said that from day one. It's still possible, but the severity is what is the issue, right? It is going to reduce the severity if you do get a severe case of it. And less likely will mean that you have to be hospitalized. That has been said from day one, over and over. Now, what you choose to hear is a different story, but that has been said. That has been said. And nobody said that you couldn't get COVID after you've been fully vaccinated. That has been said as well. So, and they go on to say there's a bias. I don't understand. It's always been said. And this is why a lot of people are reluctant. Well, if I can still get it, right? Why am I doing this? Many see it and have read and have done their research and say, well, this doesn't seem to make sense to me. And this is why it's been an optional exercise, right? This one says, well, they're telling you to get vaccinated but don't have any. We can't do anything right. Again, this is a little bit beyond our control, right? The whole world's trying to get these things, and they're cranking them out as quickly as they can. It's been challenging. Hopefully, again, the Pfizer and the others will get here soon enough. But a lot of people were saying that, hey, the people who really wanted it got it early, and the stragglers here are now having issues. But I don't know if that's fair. But if you wanted it, you had quite a time, a long time to get it. I don't know. Let's leave that there then, I guess. Yeah. All right. So 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Okay. Let's move on to independence. People brought it up already. Just how should we be spending independence? How should we be celebrating independence? How much of a say should the government have on this? Some local musicians are angry that they're not going to be included in the gospel-oriented virtual ceremony that's going to be happening. I think that's Friday. Is that right? Friday night. And they're wondering why they weren't included in this. What is the deal with that? Take a listen to this report. And we're going to be talking about this a lot this morning. And especially Morning Blend Business. But we want to start the conversation on how we should be doing this. This report is from our Kyle Walkie.
All of it is not worthy of being showcased. That's a problem.
It's a matter of respect for these Bahamian artists who for decades have graced the stage during independence celebrations. But this year, a decision to have a mass choir of Bahamians performing international gospel music rather than the usual Bahamian cultural performances has these artists feeling disappointed and disrespected.
We have to think about when the world looks on and they see what we are presenting. Are we going to be proud to say that the choir that is singing or what was the requirement or whatever it is that they put together, when that is represented, I think that's past a slap in the face.
That be on the most patriotic and national pride type of day, showcased to the world, and in a world now where everything is being streamed.
You go always be ashamed to show someone that, hey,
This is what we doing for our independence. 4th of July just left yesterday. And you see Prophet Lawrence roll on no American stage. They proud of it, regardless what it is. Once it's American, they can push it, and I feel like us as Bahamians should do the same thing.
And their support within the industry runs deep, with DJs on board as well.
And I'm telling you now, you're wrong. Fix it. Fix the flicking thing. Fix it. You can't have a Bahamas Independence celebration and you ain't got no Bahamian artists on the show.
The artists met with Youth Sports and Culture Minister Iram Lewis today to see how best they can resolve the situation, with the artists presenting a program for a cultural event featuring 100% Bahamian talent and music.
Prepared. So I am not looking forward to or expecting any changes to be made, and I won't be upset if they aren't made. I think the foul has already happened in not communicating with us before this decision was made.
That no government should ever tread every independent show. You should have more than 95% of the content being strictly Bahamian.
100%.
I'm not being, and I was being gracious. I'm not trying to be a purist.
He said the program is being run by the committee, headed by Fort Charlotte MP Mark Humes.
Social media, and like I'm saying, as we've done here today, we are highlighting Bahamians and what Bahamians are capable of doing, and any ill will, we are hoping that we will somehow correct it.
We spoke with Humes, who said the public will watch the presentation for themselves Friday night and be the judge. He said it's going to be enjoyable, uplifting, and moving, and he hopes people are blessed by it. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Okay, let's get your views on it. Let's hear what you have to say about it. Are these artists correct? Do we want a gospel, an all gospel show? Do we need that? I see some text messages already coming in saying that. There's a letter in the National Guardian today saying that a Christ-centered approach to celebrating Independence Day is the right thing to do. And my big question is, why don't these artists do their own thing? And why do we have to wait for the government? Why does it have to be the national event? Why don't we do our own thing? Why are we clinging on to that? Let's talk about that all. 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's hear what you have to say about it. Don, what do you make of that?
Can you hear me, Dwight?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, great. I was saying, did you hear what Humes basically said? Like, despite the criticism, he's like, "Yeah, watch it. Watch it in a couple of days and get over it." That's literally what he's saying. It's funny. As to your response, Dwight, I don't know. I'm mixed on it, right? I think that a quote unquote Christian approach is the right approach, because many people argue and do believe that we are a Christian nation. Although, okay, whatever. People can believe what they want, man. But I don't know. I don't know if I agree on it. But at the same time, I'm not necessarily the person who's probably going to protest the most, because I don't watch these things anyway. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, Dwight.
All right, let's hear what the callers have to say. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, Dawn.
Hi.
Yeah, listen,
Good morning.
Dwight, somebody made I don't know if you made a statement. You said, why can't the musicians get together and do it, right? Which I agree with, right? But remember now, this is the COVID construct, and so they need permission, right? So that's another, so the incumbent in authority could always say, well, you need permission to gather, and you see the paradigm that they're creating, right? And so that's just what it is. And so when you look at it,
Well, why can't they do their own virtual concert?
That's the paradigm they want to create, Dwight. This is a scary world. There's so much things to talk about. I'll talk until next year, and people still wouldn't get it. But the thing is, what you have to realize is, the person who made the speech and said, hopefully they would watch it and they would receive their blessing. Who was that? That was the minister. The clip you played just now, that was the minister.
Yes, the minister spoke in that.
Yeah, and so how could you receive a blessing from watching something? I mean, a person can bless someone with something, but blessings come from the Creator. You know what I mean? That's what really counts. So what blessing you could receive from watching it? You could receive enjoyment. And I just wanted to to bear something with you that two things I would like to mention. The fact that there's data, right? Proven data, on newspaper in Europe, right? This is a vaccine war. The AstraZeneca vaccine has less events than the Pfizer in Germany and France. I saw the data. And so for Pfizer, I could remember it's out of per million doses, it's 45 deaths, right? And AstraZeneca is 17. So it's more than Pfizer is more than double in deaths in France and Germany, and it's out there. And so what they're doing is they're really trying to create people to get people to buy the Pfizer more than the AstraZeneca. But basically, I tell you, the data proves AstraZeneca is more effective. They say we didn't have any behemoth deaths, maybe one or two, but obviously the AstraZeneca is proven to be just as efficacious. Also, it's not an mRNA vaccine, but it's a recombining technology, and so I could rebut a lot of things in a lot of ways. You could just go on the vaccine adverse event reporting system, and then you could look at the amount of the data, and then you could look at the amount of money paid out through the vaccine courts. So curtailed, all right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
right.
interesting stuff. Yep. As people have been saying, there's a lot of politics going on, a lot of politics, vaccine politics. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Well, godly day, this is Doc, giving away so long with you on
Don.
Dwight.
Yes. Hi.
Now, Dwight, first I'm going to say, right, this vaccine to do causing a mental problem among people. My other point is when it comes to our independence, we, the Bahamian people, supposed to be or should be participating. We're not supposed to be taking our money, the Bahamian people money, and you know what I'm saying, bringing in people because they don't know the way we live. You understand what I'm saying? The people, the Bahamian people know the way we live here. So they should be on the stage. And the person that came up with that idea, to bring people in, I could understand them bringing one or two person in, to celebrate.
Did they say they were bringing
us.
people in, or is it going to be
Say it again?
singing non-Bahamian
Say it
gospel?
again?
I don't know if they said they're bringing people in. I think they said they're going to be singing non-Bahamian gospel music. So, yeah, virtually.
But the thing is, you still have our people to sing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are the people who are supposed to be participating and showing the world what we are and what we are good for.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Continue to call in 325-4316, 325-4259. Responses on our text line. Someone says here, sounds same as it was last year. It won't mean we are not independent. Well, I think last year they did have a secular component to it. This one says here, I believe they are a bit salty and feel entitled. Who are you talking about? The musicians? If the choir was singing Bahamian songs, those musicians would still be complaining. Each talent being displayed within the choir are Bahamians. Give the young Bahamians a chance and see if they meet the standard of professionalism. Okay. The artists won't do their own thing. It's about money and not patriotism. Uh-oh. This one says here, Dwight may not be a Christian nation, but many believe in God. And after coming off the 2 years we've had as a nation, I think it's appropriate to reflect and give God thanks for how he has kept us. Many more years of secular music. This is a special time. My thoughts. The first lie that should be refuted is the comment that no Bahamians are before, but that was propaganda, right? Okay. This one says here, I fully agree with your question. Why can't they do their own separate concert? I'm still asking for that to be answered. This one says here, I don't support the secular artist's view that they have been involved for 47 years of what is this big deal? They are mad because they're not included, and if they want to perform, they can create their own virtual show. The caller that said you can't receive a blessing from listening is lost. Okay. 325-4316, 325-4259. I want to hear from you. How should we be celebrating it? Again, are we putting too much emphasis on, too much focus on the government's program? Is that everybody? I mean, it's great that they do something. It is wonderful, sure, but there can be other ways to celebrate too, right? And we can do those. No, what is the issue? I don't understand. Yeah, we are going to be able to do it in person. Unfortunately, it seems, but there must be other ways. There must be other ways, and they don't have the patent on a virtual event, right? Come together and organize your thing. Do that on Independence Day, on Saturday the 10th, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to get answers hopefully a little later in the show, but let's hear what you have to say. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Wonderful, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Great. I'm a regular listener. I have never called before. My suggestion should be they want to make it up a national choir. They should all, as many as possible, all the Bahamian artists together and make a national choir. I remember when they did in the U.S., they did You Are the World, which was a private organization, and they got various artists together. So they want to do a gospel, they can do that, and then have the Bahamian artists just sing the gospel song in their version in terms of how they would sing. So which means so all the Bahamian artists, whoever they are, and then you can pick your songs, and then they can sing it in their style. I think that will establish that to some extent.
Okay. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yep. And you want to watch that? Yes? Okay. Yeah. Hey. Might be interesting. Here's another text. Yes, the artist in the clip who said that what would the world think is right. What would the world think when we as Bahamians don't celebrate independence by doing the celebrations apart from the government? I mean, really? What? Seriously? You think they would actually, who would care? I mean, who would care? And multiple different celebrations that goes on all the time, all over the U.S. on July 4th. Did the federal government organize any celebration? I don't think they do that. But different people had different things. There were parties all over. This group did their thing. This symphony did their thing. That group did something. Everybody did something because people like variety and not everybody likes the same thing. It's not a problem. Why would anyone say, oh my gosh, the bomb is falling apart, the secular artist did one thing and the gospel artist did another? Huh? What am I missing? We'll talk more about this after the break for news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I left the island, I was 16. Most big city I ever seen. I left the island, I was 16. I came to Nassau on board the mill. Yeah, I came to Nassau on board the mill.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796 on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC standard text rate supply. And now at 8:22, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got rain bands associated with Tropical Storm Elsa that will continue to affect portions of the Bahamas today, while high pressure will generate moderate to fresh winds across the area. Boaters should be alert for the threat of waterspouts. There's a threat of waterspouts out there in or near showers and thunderstorms. Swimmers and beachgoers need to pay attention for rip currents along east and south coast beaches and in the waters of the Great Bahama Bank. And localized flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas is possible during heavy rain showers. And everybody should limit outdoor activity today again, as we expect triple-digit heat indices. And you're being asked to remain hydrated. For today, for the Northwest Bahamas, we're expecting cloudy to overcast conditions, hot and breezy with scattered showers and thunderstorms, some heavy at times through tonight. Small craft should exercise caution. For the central and southeast Bahamas, variably cloudy, hot and breezy with a few isolated showers and thunderstorm becoming fair and warm tonight with a passing shower. Smallcraft caution continues. Temperature-wise, look for highs getting to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. Heat index at 103 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Now getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, pleasant weather conditions are expected to return as Elsa's influence will leave the area, and this will allow for high pressure to build across the country with its prevailing moderate to fresh breezes. So for tomorrow, Wednesday, partly sunny, hot and breezy with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Fair and warm at night with passing showers or thunderstorms. Pretty much the same for Thursday, partly sunny, hot and breezy, isolated showers and thunderstorms. Fair and warm at night with passing showers or thunderstorms. Again, Elsa, the latest on Elsa. Just about 50 miles southwest of Key West, Florida now, and Elsa moving towards the north-northwest at about 12 miles per hour. General motion expected to continue today. On the forecast track, Elsa will pass near the Florida Keys this morning and move near or over portions of the west coast of Florida later today. Maximum sustained winds are near 60 miles per hour, and slow strengthening is forecast through tonight, and Elsa could be near hurricane strength before it makes landfall in Florida. But that is your morning check. Brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us. And at 8:25, we've got another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Heavy traffic, as usual, at this hour on Samaya Butler Highway. That's the northbound lanes heading up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Glaston Road also busy for you in the northbound lanes this morning. We're seeing building traffic along Carmichael Road eastbound to Blue Hill Road, which is busy from just south of Carmichael northbound up to especially Soldier Road as you get closer to Independence Drive. Seeing some building traffic on Independence Drive at the roundabouts. That's westbound to Blue Hill and eastbound to East Street this morning as well. Robinson Road looking congested at the intersection with East Street. And Marathon Road seeing some heavy traffic northbound this morning. Elsewhere, we have Carmichael westbound heading towards Coral Harbor Road. You can be seeing heavy traffic there. And eastbound on West Bay Street, especially as you get closer to Saunders Beach and the roundabout with New Providence Highway. We've also got pockets along Wolf Road at the major intersections and Shirley Street at the major intersections. That's westbound, of course, this morning. Those are your hottest spots. That's your real-time traffic in your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk.
I did it. Yes, I did it. 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 Let's go. I don't need nobody. I did it on my own. Did it on my own. I walked through the fire. Barefoot shoes run away. What I would have been if I did listen what people say. I move in my treasure, won't fall under the pressure. Don't drop in no water, baby. Don't rough no feather, baby. I don't need nobody. I did it on my own. Did it on my own. When I was young, mama told me to never beg. Now I go up and I get it. So going off for what mama said. If you don't have it, you can do without. If you play with that puppy, he can lick inside your mouth. Now I won't say I didn't accept anybody else, but if I didn't at first step out, they would never gonna know what I want. Can't trust anybody, they keep the clothes off the line. I'll help anybody, but first I got to get mine. I don't need nobody. I did it on my own. Did it on my own.
And we're back here with Morning Blend. On Guardian Radio 96.9, Dwight Strachan along with Don Sargent on this Tuesday morning. We are talking about what's in the news, asking the question, what would you want to see for independence? How should we collectively celebrate independence, or independently, maybe? What do you hope you like? Every year we ask this, and every year I don't think we make any progress on this, and there's a lot of reliance on what the government does. And often every year, a lot of people are disappointed with what we get. Is that foolish? Do we need to move beyond this now? What do you want to see? We're getting your reaction. A lot of people commenting on what the musicians have been saying. Secular artists concerned that they're not included in the virtual program the government has set for Friday night. But what should be going on? I want to get your views on that. We're getting a lot of your text messages. I'll read those in a bit. But beyond that, how should we celebrate Independence Day in the Bahamas? That is the question. That's the one we want to get answers to beyond this concert or lack of whatever it is on Friday night. 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. A little bit later, I'll tell you what I think. I've said this before, but nobody listens to me, so that's fine. But I'll say it again, what I think we should be doing and looking at a bigger picture and on a course for future development. That, Don, if you have your views, share them with us as well, and we want to hear from people about that. But let's get to the text messages, what people are saying here. This one says here, Dwight and Don, listening to some of these secular Bahamian artists, I heard them say how they've not been employed for over a year and that the government did not award them unemployment benefits like other industries. Sounds like they are interested in being paid huge sums by the government to perform. If a payday is not the goal and they are sincere, the artists should arrange their own show and the government should assist with the costs. Okay. The government should assist. Okay. We're going to put that to them. We're going to be talking in a few minutes with some as well. So we'll see if that is the issue. But this text here, the overriding principle is Bahamian secular artists should be allowed to participate in the state-run celebrations. Bahamian secular music is a part of the fabric of this country, and being allowed to be included at this time is the highest affirmation. Regardless of the pandemic, being secular does not mean that one is ungrateful. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. Okay, this text here. I understand why the local musicians are upset. One, they were disappointed to miss the paid opportunity. Two, the independent celebration is when their audience is more than 100. And please correct your callers about Bahamian artists. They may not be familiar with the participants, but they are Bahamian artists. Yes, we did try to correct them on that. This one says here, it is sad that Mark Humes and his committee have decided to dismantle something that it is deplorable and selfish, and yes, those to whom it concerns must be annoyed and upset about it. Don't folks understand and appreciate that we all need to put food on the table and pay taxes too? Okay, another text here. I am a gospel recording artist and songwriter. I am concerned about the way governments and citizens treat us as Bahamian artists, but I recognize they cannot help it. There is a scripture in the Bible when Jesus himself said, no prophet is given in his own country. Another one here. Is this Mark Humes who asked for respect from the Prime Minister himself practicing the wrong he spoke against? This apparently is the government objective, disrespecting us. This person says nobody should show up. I don't know what you mean. You mean log on? Nobody should log on? Okay. If this was a privately funded event, then it would not matter who performed. But since the government is using public funds to celebrate independence, it should be majority Bahamian artists performing. I think again, it is. It's just that it won't all be, from what we're told, Bahamian music. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 325-4316, 325-4259. Still waiting to hear from you how you think in general, beyond this this controversy at the moment, how you feel we should celebrate independence. I think every year we have this challenge, Don, where people don't have an answer to that question, and it's very concerning. Very concerning. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
When I listen to this argument, and why we don't stop this foolishness out of foolishness, especially some of the taxes about they should have their own thing. In 1973, in one segment of society wasn't made independent, man. The entire Bahamas was made independent. Encompasses all aspects of Bahamian society. Now, what they don't realize is this non-participation thing, foolishness, what they doing on the 10th, it goes deeper than that. Because with this government, and I didn't want to say it, but I have to say it, with this government, is that, back in the early 70s, a section of this government, or the people who control this government, never wanted independence. You understand? So these last couple of years fit right up their alley. That's why they didn't want no independence. That's why they didn't want no John Crew on Bay Street. And I could go on and on and on. Tell these people, stop calling in, dividing themselves, and stop being stupid, because today they come for the secular artists, tomorrow they come in for them. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Boy, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Glenn. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Wonderful. Yeah, you just now say this thing down like it's something. You actually said this minor thing.
Yeah, I corrected myself. It's not minor. Yeah.
Minor.
Yeah.
It's something big and great, man, because it's our culture.
Yes.
Okay, I was born in 1961. Okay, as I grew and at the age of 11, we formed the human flag on Clifford Park. Okay, at that point in my life, I appreciated what is being dealt to me that I understood it at 11. But man, at this age that I'm at now, I'm 60. Okay, I've passed through every government, and I voted, I think, about 4 or 5 times. Okay, and what I'm trying to say is that this is something big for me. Okay, I thought I'd never see the day for this to happen. The Honorable Mark Jones, okay, was the MP that went into the House of Assembly on the 100, put it into record that the church should be charged back. Okay? Mark Holmes did that. Okay? And if he is angry or want to make amends to God, God understands the good and evil. He created them. Okay? And therefore, if it is because of his style of living, well, then that's another case. But still, we must have our culture, okay? This is our independence, man. This is our country. You don't decide to give us piece of this and piece of that, okay? We understand that the free national movement didn't want independence, but we've got it. Please don't take it away.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, Don, you think we'll get an answer to the overall question about how people would like
an answer from? An answer from
people, the listeners, from anyone, about how we should celebrate independence generally, what they'd like to see. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. I think the issue with the artist, just as the previous caller highlighted, is a bit deeper than it seems, Dwight. Oh, man, I'll say this. If we come to a situation in this country, going by the record over the past, 20 years? 21 years, who knows? Of how governments change every term, I can guarantee you one of the petty things is going to happen is the clash between how the next administration, whoever that is, and this administration handled these independence celebrations. That's a conversation for another day because it's getting into politics. But I think it's a very interesting conversation because it touches on this issue of the Bahamas being a Christian nation, which I don't agree with. The Constitution is pretty secular and allows people to believe whenever they want to believe it. But of course, I'm not suggesting that by having gospel artists or persons who sing gospel music perform gospel music, therefore means that we're excluding persons or discriminating against anybody. No. But at the same time, I don't think what we're doing is a good look, personally. I think we could have had a consortium of artists if we're going to be paying artists, which all this is coming out of taxpayer money. Similar things, I think criticisms were made about the situation with Carnival in the past, where persons were saying, that's a whole other conversation on the can of worms. But there's a lot of issues compounded here. If this were just private funds, and this is a public-private partnership, it'd be a different conversation. But this is 100% taxpayer money. So a lot of people's opinions are actually very valid, whether it be that they think that it should only be gospel artists, the persons who think that it should be a consortium, and those who think the secular artists should be the mainstay of the show. Because again, you're spending our money to do this. So, and to your point earlier, Dwight, about the federal government not doing that, this will be one of those things that if one administration doesn't do it, another administration can use it as to say, see, they don't care about Bahamians. They don't appreciate our heritage and all these things. It's I don't know. It's a wonky game to play. That's what I'll say on this.
Okay. All right. Well, funding is one thing, but to organize it yourselves, that's a different story, right? So I don't know if this is the way we should do this.
But again, you're right. They can organize it themselves, but they can always point to the fact it's like, hey, but you still use taxpayer dollars to pay for this show.
Right.
A show that you who are on the committee wants to see, but does not reflect what the masses of Bahamians want.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's get back to these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. All right, caller. Good morning. Are you there? No, 325-4316, 325-4259. We've got that person on that other line. Please call us on one of those lines I'm calling out. 325-4316, 325-4259. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? No? Okay. 325-4316 or 325-4259. Oh, boy. I can't read that one there. This person says 2 points. One, more concerning to me is the level of interaction that will take place during the independence celebrations and what mitigating measures will be put in place. Are we going to have an independence lockdown to prevent any upticks in the past? Like as in the past, okay? And two, listening to yesterday's show with Dr. Forbes, I understand that there have been, what? Wait, no. Which show are you talking about there? Okay, I've got to check into that one there. I'm not going to read that on the air. All right. That's interesting. This one says here, for the life of me, England is lifting all COVID restrictions come July 19th, and this okay. They're wondering why we're not lifting the restrictions here. Yeah. This one says, to the fool who didn't hear exactly what 52 said, he said, man can bless one another, but true blessings come from and through God, and watching a gospel concert singing for money is not a blessing. Jesus didn't have a concert show. Show me the blessings afterwards. Okay, everybody. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. You're on the air, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. I'm listening to your comments on the independence situation. It would seem as though you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Bahamians always want themselves in the front line. Anything that is done differently becomes an offense to some other grouping.
Mm-hmm.
We have always celebrated with secular artists. What's actually wrong with it? Do you know whether the gospel artists are going to sing Bahamian songs? You know, like the Ramming Brothers? Why can't we ever expect to have something different and applaud the efforts of the people who work on our behalf and stop cutting down everyone every day? That's my comment.
Okay.
Either we're going to be Bahamians, supporting Bahamians, or we're not. But because one group is chosen, should not be an offense to another group who is not chosen. Come on, let's learn to share. That's my comment.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Let's take this call. Oh, okay. 325-4316. 325-4259. Still looking for answers on how we should, in general, be celebrating independence. Anybody with any ideas there? Nothing yet. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Dua.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, the question I want to ask is what's most significant, whether majority rule or independence, or what are the significance of these dates and times? You see, it seems like when the only independence we have is like a get out of jail free card or something like independent from what I want to say accountability. You know, because it's like independent. The only thing it means is these guys don't have to be accountable to nothing. You see, they don't even have to be transparent on anything. You see, so what are we celebrating? What's independent? We depending on everybody for everything. We not even independent to feed ourselves. Before independent, we could do those things. You see, look at the takes and takers and see what independent means. What the lack of independence does for them. You see, do you think that we'd had the situation with Cuba, we're not independent? Hello?
I'm listening.
I don't think we would. So we must really be talking about independent. Independent what? We don't majority rule. We don't even have majority rule because only a segment of our society rule, and all they do is go along to get along with a multinational corporation and the like. What does it profit us? All these cars are the same. And then every independence day is political. You know, it becomes political. But anyway, thanks for allowing me the opportunity.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, morning, Dawn. How you doing?
Hi, good morning.
I'm going to attempt to bring a possible solution to the question you posed. It seems as if, everyone is up in arms about the gospel side of our independence celebration this time in front and center stage. A remedy to this is to allow those the realm to also perform. However, do it for the show business, artisans, as well as the gospel artists.
We are really not hearing what you're saying. I don't know if you can call us back. We're missing, I don't know what's going on with your connection, but call us back, 325-4316, 325-4259. Let's read some of these. Someone says, I support our Bahamian artists. I am sick of how comfortable the government is with treating Bahamians badly. The government needs to correct it now. By the way, stop requiring Bahamians to have a travel visa to return home. Utter nonsense. Okay.
Dwight.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, quick point. Not picking on anything the previous caller said, but I've heard a lot of Bahamians, especially on social media, talk about this thing with Turks and Caicos versus the Bahamas. One thing I'd like to point out, one of the things that we dislike the most about what successive administrations have had to do, or have, I don't know if it's whatever, have had to do, was essentially borrow lots of money. Despite the challenges, I'm sure that the Turks and Caicos and other British overseas territories have faced, as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of them have had to draw down on their reserves or the budget surpluses they've had for successive years. Almost all of them, if you look at their individual credit ratings, are higher than that of the Bahamas. I think we're at junk status at this point. Turks and Caicos and Cayman Islands still have surpluses that they can draw down on, which we do not. We are borrowing everything. So, well, not everything. Majority of our budget we're borrowing right now because of the situation with the pandemic. So I just throw that in there. It's not necessarily pick on the British overseas territories, and it isn't all positive for sure, but it also isn't all negative.
All right, let's take these calls quickly, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, my brother. I'm back again.
Okay, that sounds much better. Yes, that's much better. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I was saying in my previous statement was, I think we need to have a collaboration between the gospel artisans and the secular artisans in a closing finale, perhaps, to bring all the groups together in celebration of our culture. The thing is, what is so missing here is that because it appears that our culture has been so eroded to a point Whereas everyone right now is asking, well, what is our culture? And now you're having this big bust up between the artisans who's participating in the independence celebrations and who aren't. I believe in order to satisfy everyone, because we all love this country, bring all of the artisans together, even those who have not been invited or want to participate. Bring them all together in a We Are the World type of scenario, and let us all celebrate the country. I think that's one of the very few ways we can get everybody to settle down and understand that this is our country. We love our country. We want to celebrate our country, and together we all can do it. And that's just my thought about it. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. All right. And this call, good morning, caller. You're on the air. Caller, good morning. Are you there? No? Okay. Let's take that break. And when we come back, we'll get to the final messages and we'll have more on our views. Hopefully we'll get some views from you on how going forward we should be celebrating independence. And I'll give you my ideas as well. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Let's go. I don't need nobody. I did it on my own. Did it on my own. I walked through the fire. Barefoot shoes run away. What I would have been if I did listen what people say. I move from my pleasure.
The summer you deserve is here at Alive. We do it better. Capture more moments and go further with our prepaid plans for everyone. Roam free with postpaid and stay connected with MiFi on the go anywhere, anytime. We do it better with more device offerings, accessories, exclusive deals with the list, and so many opportunities to win big. From travel vouchers, grocery vouchers, Alive merch, and more. Alive. Believe in best.
Put me in your pocket, take me away, yeah, I'm ready for you.
RBC has been growing with the Bahamas for over 110 years with new better. We are committed to deepening our relationship with existing clients and forging new ones in the future with new products and services and investment in the community, youth, and education initiatives. We are here to help you grow.
We're here to help you flourish. We're RBC.
RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
There's only one way to have a better morning. How? Start your mornings the best way with our 2 for $6 breakfast sandwiches at Wendy's. For a limited time, choose any 2 of your favorite breakfast sandwiches, including the fresh Strachan sack muffin, honey buttermilk chicken biscuit, double sausage muffin, or the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Wash it all down with our cold brew shake or coffee. Better mornings always start at Wendy's. Wendy's, different inside and out. Excludes airport locations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and carved body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
As a people, Bahamians are anxious about the future. Feeling down and out, unsure in these unprecedented times? We need to believe that love's coming back. Join us Tuesday, July 13th at 11 a.m. at lovescomingback.com for the virtual launch of Love's Coming Back, an inspiring new anthem from Grammy Award-winning founding member of the Eurythmics, songwriter, producer Dave Stewart, which will premiere globally at 12 noon. Presented by Bay Street Records, Bahamas National Trust, and BrylandAid.org.
Your home and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations, unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value. Upgrade or sign up today. Visit any BTC store or BTC Bahamas Bahamas.com. Conditions apply.
Let's face it, in an increasingly competitive market, your business needs a competitive edge. That means offering your employees the benefits they want. Give them the benefit of retiring their way with the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. Choose from some of the best performing investment funds in the market while taking advantage of low administrative costs and professional management. Whether you're a team of 2 or 2,000, our pension specialists can design a plan for you. Contact us at pensions@rfgroup.com to learn more about the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. RF, money at work.
Travel less, but vacation more by indulging yourself and your family with the ultimate staycation getaway at Atlantis. Sleep in, relax, play, go out. Say yes to a fantastic staycation in your very own paradise just over the bridge. For reservations, call 363-6483 or visit Atlantis Local on Facebook for details.
Yes, I did it. I did it. Yes, I did it. I did it. Yes, I did it. I did it.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Don Sargent on this Tuesday morning, getting your reaction to this controversy with the Independence celebrations this year. Is going to be virtual again, and also wanted to hear what you think, how you think we should generally celebrate independence here. It seems to always be a challenge, right? We do the thing at the Clifford Park, and people complain about it. It was stale, it was boring, it was this one didn't do that every year, same old thing. But I'm asking, is there a better way? What should we be doing? And yeah, so we're getting a lot of your messages. Someone says here, why can't we have a mixture? Not everyone is religious. That's a text. This one says here, it seems unfair to totally exclude the local secular artists. What if those artists were allowed to do a mashup performance in the show? Everyone sings a verse or chorus from a song as a teaser, seeing as time wasn't allotted for full performances. Or since most of the artists that spoke out are ambassadors for BTC, okay, why doesn't BTC capitalize and possibly give them a segment of their own? I'm sure it garners some attention, just suggestions. This one says here, the majority is being fooled and ruled, blessings turning into a curse via technological advances. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. This one says here, Independence 2021 is a done deal. The choir already pre-recorded and the money is gone. Mm-hmm. Someone says, how do we celebrate independence when we don't have it? We should do the same as we do on Fox Hill Day and Juneteenth in the U.S. The masses of Bahamian leaders haven't got the message on the difference of independence and freedom. We are free from the hands, but not the control. I have 7 children. 4 are independent. They don't require any assistance from me or others to survive. They make all the decisions in their life. They call every so often for advice, but the decisions are their own. My 19-year-old is in college and is considered emancipated. She requires my monetary support and direction. I make decisions for her and make her believe it's her own. I have the ability to change her life for better or for worse, but she is in her 4th year of college and can decide to become independent if she so desires. I have 2 minors who are my slaves. Oh boy. I decide how they eat, sleep, or progress. I send them to the fridge to drink anything that they want as long as it's water. Their life is in my directive. This analogy is true. The Bahamas is a 40-year-old child raised mentally and physically handicapped. Yikes. Always in need. We need a leader to take us to independence and teach us that we have been a country of miseducated Negroes that need to think for ourselves and take up our bed and walk. That's from Rabbi Common Sense.
Yeah, I don't know if calling your kids your slaves is, disagree with the use of language.
Well, but you get the point.
Yeah, I understand the point, and I do understand the point.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with the whole essence of this idea of independence, at least what the person's highlighting about, being able to make decisions for themselves, being self-sufficient, is that's exceptionally difficult to do as a small nation. Furthermore, one that's in the orbit of a superpower known as the United States, which is kind of why, if you look at the entirety of the Caribbean, it's virtually the same story copied and pasted over and over again. There's a lot of things at play that create the situation. I'm not saying I like it. I do not. I wish a lot of things were different. But that's just a topic of discussion for another day. Dwight. But interesting point heard. Just would choose different language.
Hey, well, it gets your attention. It certainly gets your attention. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, my young friend. Good morning, Bahamas. Dwight, let me tell you something. The caller before the last caller there is a young man. You hear the man say, you can't feed yourself. You don't have an army. You keep depending on tourists for everything. Hotel coming out, they get all the concessions. When they belly up, they park them and leave. Oh, government, millions and millions of dollars. 20, 10 years concessions. You see, nothing can change in this country until 2027. See, the more I say, the more you understand. Dwight, the only thing keeping this country together is John Canoe, John Canoe work without politics. Not even the church. The church even divided. Dwight. Government let people go down to Russia, be no problem. No problem, See, this country is so, if who want to go live in England, like you're saying this morning, every time we try something, the UK and the European Union, they keep fooling with us. Man, we need to stand up. Tell him enough is enough. You pass all our airspace, you shoot you down. You pass that water. See, Dwight, we need to fix this country, man. And thank you, my God, my brother.
Okay, all right. This person says here, we could celebrate independence by removing the bit about swearing allegiance to the Queen, her heirs and successors, get rid of the Governor General, stop calling it Crown land, and start saying public land. I have more, but let's start there. All right, some of that's going to require some big changes, some referenda more than likely. But hey, I'm with you. I am with you.
Changing the Constitution would be, amending it would be great. Great.
Desperately needed.
If we could ever do that. Ever.
This person says, sounds like the election will be virtual as well. Don't bet on that one. This one says here, what is there to celebrate? We are in a pandemic. Have the church service and go home. Government does not have the money for a big concert. All right. Caller, hold on there. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more on this. We're going to continue this in Morning Blend Business. And like I said, we're going to still hear from you about what we should be doing, especially looking forward, because we're faithful. Right? We believe that we're not going to be stuck in this pandemic rut much longer, right? Don't we believe that? And this is it. This is the second year of it, and next year will be different. What do you want to see for independence celebrations next year and going forward? We want to talk about that. But more on this, we're going to talk with some of the artists as well about what's happened here and what they were hoping to see. We're going to get into all of this after the break for news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas. 9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk. All day.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
We're back here with Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. Welcome to our listeners and to Blend listeners. Today we are going to continue our conversation that we had earlier in the show about independence, the business of celebrating independence. How should we be doing that? Local artists are up in arms about the plans to exclude secular artists from the virtual independence celebration this year. Dyson Knight's going to be here to give us his views. He's one of the artists who have been pushing to be included in this on Friday coming. But that is what we're going to be talking about this morning. Dyson will be joining us momentarily. But we continue to want to hear from you about how we should be celebrating independence this year and beyond, especially beyond when we get over this pandemic. What should be included? What would you like to see? And we want to hear from you. Continue to text us 422-4796 and call in 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us and Facebook us as well. So Don had to leave us, of course, but so it's just me, Dwight Strachan, with you. And I told you before, I'm going to tell you what I think should be happening, and you can share your views on that as well. I think we've approached this in a very unusual way. Every year, it's the thing that we do at Clifford Park, and every year there are complaints every year. Some people do enjoy it very much. Some people very proud to say they've never been. I'm not too sure why they do that, but those who've been do remark on how similar it is every year. And that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. But I do think we need a complete reset on this. And I think we've got a number of holidays there that have not separated themselves enough. And we do need to find ways to truly show what it means to be Bahamian and express that very clearly. I think we have an opportunity. As we know, we have a lot of changes to do. We need to fix, including our Constitution. And I used to say this quite a lot on the show, that I do think we need an annual referendum. There are many things. The Constitution Commission recommended so many years ago. There are things we need to fix. And perhaps one question each year for us to vote on to decide to amend the Constitution. I think that should be presented on Independence Day. And we have it. Some are going to say we need more, but a good 6 months to promote that, to do the education campaign, to have the debates on the matter, present that on Independence, and by Majority Rule Day the next year, we go to the polls and we vote on that matter. That's one step, the thing we should be doing there. Independence question, or right after Independence Day, this is the question we're going to be voting on. 6 months, Majority Rule Day, we vote on it. Right? Number two, I think we need to have some monetary value, see some monetary value in Independence Day. So I think companies should split the Christmas bonus in two. Half of it, no, what? My producer's already rolling his head. You get your Christmas bonus, but you also get your Independence bonus. Mid-year, half of which you would have gotten, you get into, right? So it's a joyful time. Look at this. I love independence. I get some independence bonus. Perhaps that's something we can consider there too. And I think the previous Christie administration, at least Prime Minister Christie, got this right. I think he did go off script about the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. You remember that? But I think he did have that right in theory on how that should have worked. It should have been a full to celebrate everything Junkanoo, but a participatory celebration. And I think that festival should take place from July 4th. We've got a lot of people in town for American independence. Have that festival from then to July 10th. And we have all showcasing the best of Bahamian culture, including Junkanoo. And we have a participatory Junkanoo festival all week long, culminating in a gigantic concert around independence. And this is when, from New Year's Day, you introduce the Bahamian songs that are going to be vying for the Junkanoo Carnival Song of the Year. And by independence, the winners are crowned. You have 6 months to celebrate these songs, get to know them, and you participate in Junkanoo Carnival with it that whole week of celebrations. And just a cycle of excitement with culture and with what we're going to do to improve the country moving forward in terms of the referendum they talked about earlier. I think all of these things could be done to get Bahamians to feel more a part of the country, and that there is something new going on and new developments, and that we can change the place as opposed to what we do every year, the same thing over and over and over. So give me your views on that. What do you think about some of those things? And we can talk about that throughout the show this morning. But Dyson Knight is joining us now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dwight. Thank you for having me.
It's been a while.
To your listeners. Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you heard some of the things I said, but we will talk about that during the break, and then you can give us your views on it. But we've been talking about this all morning, about what's happening with the artists, and give us your overall view on this. A lot of people speculating on why the secular artists are speaking out on this. Of some people, there's a letter in the Guardian today saying that what is the big deal? Gospel music, we need this after the 2 years we've had. A caller earlier said, yeah, it's time, we need to do something different. So what if 1 year we do gospel? What's the big deal? Why don't you agree with that?
Well, I don't disagree with it, but I don't feel as though that should be the focus of the independent celebration. I think the independent celebration should be a celebration of the things that we've accomplished throughout the year and throughout all of the years as an independent nation. I think it's an opportunity for us to showcase that talent, that achievement, so that it inspires the country to do more, to do better, and to continue to be proud Bahamians. Now, to do it as a gospel concert, even if they did the gospel concert and there were artists singing their original music, I think that would be great too. So I'm definitely not against it being a gospel concert. What I am against is it not being beneficial to the entertainment community, because there are gospel artists that aren't singing the songs that they penned themselves. Now, this is just what I understand it to be. I could definitely be wrong. I'm going to watch the event on Friday to be sure that I'm not wrong. But the key is to celebrate Bahamians, hard-working Bahamians, not to just put together a team of people and say, hey, we're going to have you guys sing and we're going to have a party or we're going to have a concert. No, this is to say Dyson Knight put out a song in the pandemic when he wasn't making any money. Shine put out a song when in the pandemic, Johnny Cake or even Najee Dunn or even Iman or Olsen Jadorte. Like, those are gospel artists. We have new artists that put out music that step out on faith to add more content to the Bahamian industry and to the Bahamas. This is what the Independence event should celebrate. And that's why I would have a quote-unquote problem with the way I'm hearing that this is being done this year. And even if it's because of budget constraints, I feel as though as much respect should still be paid to the artists that have been working throughout the course of the year and say, hey, we aren't able to afford you guys this year unless you are willing to work for free or to work for 50 cents, then we would at least know. You understand it? And we would at least approve and understand that it's not an attack, or it's not that's a bad word. It's not we're not being overlooked.
Right.
You understand?
Lady E is joining us as well. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a while since I've seen you. Hope all is well.
Well, all is not well.
This, right.
All is not
right.
well. So that's why we're here. We're here just to let the Bahamian public know and bring light to what's happening, which is really a travesty. We are days away from our independence celebration, which is the pinnacle, which is the platform for us to be able to showcase our national pride. It really is our National Pride Day. And right about now, like Dyson said, and I know he gave a great rundown of what the plight really is about, but we want persons to know that this is a national issue. This is not a political issue. This is a national issue that brings grave concern that we have now chosen. The committee that was selected for the Independence celebration has chosen unilaterally to leave Bahamian music out of the celebrations, that Bahamian artists that have been working very hard, that have been working diligently. And let's be clear, Bahamian artists, like Dyson said, are not just secular, even though I hate using that word, you know, because when you put it next to the context of reviving us again in God, you know, it makes it seem as though we're being demonized. You know what I mean? We have cultural songs, cultural aspects of what it is that we sing that speak about the beauty and the love of our country. And I think that that's godly as well. You know, so we represent not only gospel, not only those artists that sing culturally, those artists that sing reggae. Papa Smurf does rap in Bahamian dialect. That is Bahamian music. Those persons deserve respect. And like Dyson said, we need a platform. And the national platform is independence, where those persons should be recognized for the hard work. And I want to stress that. The hard work that persons contribute to Bahamian culture, the athletes, the junkaneurs. This is our national platform, and it's a downright disgrace. It's egregious, and the Bahamian people should be appalled that the government has put our money behind something that promotes foreign music.
Right. Okay. You mentioned an important word, money. We've been talking about this for a lot before you all got here, right? So money's come up quite a bit. Is it the money that's the issue here? Why not do your own thing, separate from this?
For some, I would say that the money is an issue, right? For myself, the money is not an issue. You know, I'm a part of an organization that travels, and we're back on the road now. And I know what the real money look like when you're making it. So I know that if they're concerned about the money, that they still fighting for peanuts. So you really, for me, I'm not concerned about the money. I'm concerned about this message. I'm concerned about the next generation of artists that would possibly think, Lady E mentioned that they won't be singing Bahamian music, they'll be singing foreign music. The next generation that may grow up thinking that the only way I can make a national celebration is to perform something that I did not create.
And you know this isn't all Bahamian music because it's already recorded, is that right?
Yes, it's been pre-recorded, it's been packaged, and it's the time 4 days ago when we found out.
Yeah.
But it's not Friday yet, though. So some changes could be made to save face, or for whatever reason. Maybe it was always in there, but as far as what we've been told, it was set.
Yes. We went to the meeting. We tried to meet with Mark Humes. And for persons who don't know, Mark Humes is the chairman. He is the mouthpiece, and, you know, he just happens to be the chair. He just happens to be the person in charge of the independent celebrations this year. However, he would have been the person who would have pitched to the powers that be, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And they would have been able to get back to him and say, hey, we only have a budget for so much. All right? So when you really look at it, yes, he is the chair. Yes, he was the person who put together the independent show. But someone above him had to approve. Someone above him had to give him the directive. Someone above him had to say, hey, yeah, that's okay. Go ahead. Green light. You know, so right now, you know, he's being thrown under the bus, and it's been kind of a campaign against Mark Humes. No, we don't have a campaign. We don't have a campaign against Mark Humes. We have a campaign
against anyone.
No, it's not anything personal. This is a national issue.
All right, so I want to get back to my question, but why not do it on your own? But this question here from one of our texters saying, nobody's into winding up and jerking up this independence. We need to reflect, be thankful, and be somber. And stop insulting the committee. I don't know what they're talking about there. But yeah, so they're saying after the year we've had with the pandemic and after Dorian 2 years ago, we do need to be reflective and somber and maybe not get into the happy sounding music.
Well, gospel music is meant to inspire. That's the way it's written. That's the way it's produced. It's to inspire. But I have to say that my wife is always inspired when I wind up and check up. So you can't speak for all Bahamians. Right. You understand? And that's the key. One person cannot speak for all Bahamians. There are many Bahamians that are inspired by the work that we do. I don't sing gospel music. I'm wearing a shirt now that says I Can Do It. I have a song that's called I Can Do It. I have a song that's called Keep On Pushing that I did with Gino D that I wrote myself, and Gino D was so happy to be a part of it. And these are positive songs. These are uplifting songs. Even though they're not gospel, they do inspire. So yeah, okay, fine. You don't want to see the whining and juking up, but that's not all the Bahamian artists have to offer. We are diverse, and that is why the message is so strong. It is so important that we communicate to the Bahamian people of what we are capable of, because some of them just don't know, and they would reduce this art form, this creative intelligence, to whining and juking up, and it's not whining and juking up.
Wow.
It is way, way, way more.
Yeah, yeah. So why not do your own show? Why not put on something else?
Listen, and I know Bahamian people we're an intelligent people. So we have been doing this. We have been on social media. We have been surviving in this pandemic. I personally have done shows for schools virtually. I've been out and I've done it for free. You know, it's not that we're not doing things. We just think, and I'm based on all of the support that has been pouring in from the general public to us, we just think I think it's far-fetched, that a national platform that is about Bahamian pride should showcase, and while monies are allocated for our National Pride Day independence, hey, how about the money goes towards Bahamians? How about that?
Let me even answer that question more directly. When we met with Minister Lewis yesterday, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, we tabled a show. We put together our own show that features gospel artists and quote-unquote secular artists of all genres. It included actors, it included comedians, it included artists in the fine arts, and it's open to include more people. But these things it does cost money. And that now, when we start to talk about money, now, let me backpedal. Everyone that has already agreed to be a part of the show, including the production team, have all agreed to do it regardless of funding. Wow. Now, what we're doing, the next step now that we have this plan, and yesterday we gave it to the minister as he is the instrument, he is the microphone for us right now. We gave it to him so that he can now take this to the rest of the government and hopefully straight to the PM who is baffled by all of this, trying to figure out why this is even happening. How could Mark Humes drop the ball so far, or whoever is responsible for this decision? Why are we upset? You understand? So hopefully this gets to him and he realizes that it's not that we're upset, we're disappointed, we feel disrespected, and we feel as though we can partner to fix it. So we are not just complaining, ladies and gentlemen. We have tabled something that the government can jump on board with. If they don't have the budget to do it, we are also asking corporate to get involved, and we're asking anyone that has some money that can sponsor this event to come on board, and they can contact Lady E, they can contact myself, and we can put this show together. We can pull this off. I mean, we will pull it off. It will be what we can afford. So the more that we get, the more we can afford, and the more we can show the Bahamian people how great they are, because we are all Bahamians.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we're getting a lot of calls, a lot of text messages coming in. Let's take some calls. The lady needs you to put on your headphones there. And
I'll add that they are willing. The PS, they were trying to figure out, and the minister, they were all trying to figure out, okay, how can we make this thing happen? So they're all on board trying to fix this thing. So it's not the Bahamian entertainment against the government.
How much time do you need? How quickly can you get it together?
Our date isn't set in stone. We just need to have an opportunity in 2021 to celebrate the fact that we worked hard throughout the pandemic, and that there are artists that inspired us to work hard throughout the course of the pandemic. So that includes the new and the old artists. Even though there are a lot of older artists that haven't loaned their voices to this cause for whatever. I mean, I understand. It's silly season right now. Everybody is trying to protect their political positioning and posture, because, the artists will get the call to make some money again now during the campaigns. Fine, I get it. But this is bigger than just this year. This is bigger than just this independence celebration. This is what we wanted to point, to give cause to for the future, for all independent celebrations and all opportunities that where the government is taking artists, traveling with artists, traveling with bands, doing these shows for whatever reason, what they allow to happen in the country as far as entertainment goes, to understand that, hey, we have We have everything. We have everything. We just don't celebrate it. We don't boast about it. So we don't become popular to the point whereas we don't have to beg for money to put on our own shows.
Exactly.
So you could possibly do a live virtual show? Could it come down to that?
Yeah, we could do anything. Listen, I'm connected. Streamco Media, Zaymar, all these different production companies and teams. I can list them. They're all a part of. They're all great friends of myself. They support the Bahamian entertainers. They support what we're doing. So the event will happen, but all of these things, they cost money regardless. You can't go to Miami just on faith. You got to take some money for Walmart. You understand? So,
all right, let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good. Good morning. Dwight Armbruster calling. It's my first time calling your show, and I like what Dyson Knight and the lady has been talking about.
Thank you.
And really including everybody, as much persons as possible, in the independence celebration. Just to give a snippet of Bahamian gospel artists to do all the celebrations for the Bahamian is really not sharing the cause or not sharing what the Bahamian people really ought to be experiencing at this time. Independence ought to be an expression of all culture in our Bahamas, Bahamian culture, be it secular or gospel. And just to say that the independence and celebration ought to just celebrate gospel music is not fair to the Bahamian people on the whole. You have kids who are doing music. You have other persons who are doing so much stuff in our country who ought to have a platform, just like Dyson Knight said, ought to have a platform to demonstrate and showcase what they have been doing and literally show what is Bahamian. And if the gospel artists who are producing who are the producers this time for the independence celebration are not producing gospel music out of the Bahamas, or you singing about some other country music, is not really telling the right story for Bahamians.
Yes.
And this is the time. This is the one opportunity where the Bahamas ought to be celebrated. Bahamians ought to be celebrated. And just like Dyson Knight said, those who have been working hard during the pandemic to give inspiration with the music that they've been producing, to uplift people with the music that they've been producing. That is what Bahamians want to see. I don't want to hear about no Los Angeles mass choir music and stuff like that. Can I get some Ronnie Butler? Can I get some Gino D? And can I get some Reming Brothers? Can I get some Coolin' Waters? Can I get some Simeon Ouden? Can I get some Dwight Armbruster? Can I get some Kevin McKinsey? These are Bahamian. These are Bahamians. We have sufficient talent across this country not to pigeonhole any sector of the society. But this is the time when we ought to be including Bahamians, be it secular or non-secular. It doesn't matter. This is a Bahamian time when our pride ought to be demonstrated.
Okay.
And the lady said it earlier. It's not a time when you try to showcase one particular brand of music, but the brand that represents the Bahamas straight across the board. Folklore, calypso, junkanoo, gospel, all of this kind of music. It's just Bahamian.
Okay.
I've taken the opportunity on Thursday coming to play just Ronnie Butler and Bahamian music in my restaurant all day.
Yes.
No other kind of music, only Bahamian music.
Yes.
And I sing gospel, but I get people who come in my restaurant who are all faith moving. They want to hear Ronnie Butler. They want to hear Kevin McKinsey. They want to hear Dyson Knight. They want to hear all these different people music. And so that's what I'm going to do on Thursday.
Yeah.
But we got to be more. We got to be broader and bigger than this, where we just pigeonhole into one area of music and just disconnect the entire rest of Bahamas from all that has been going on and other young persons and people who are producing Bahamian music.
Yep.
Man, we got to be bigger than this, and we got to do better.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. Let's take this other call, and we'll get to some of these messages as well. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend Business. Hi, are you there?
Yes.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to start off by saying I do appreciate Dyson Knight and Lady E as artists. They are good at what they do. But I'm actually a little bit perplexed, more so after his explanation of what they plan on doing. The question is, why didn't you make these plans before now? Why didn't you and everyone else that's involved present this to the government before time, not wait until we are now at the door of independence and you want to make the suggestions because you weren't included? I'm not saying that's the only reason you do it, but be proactive as opposed to being reactive, and that's one of the problems that I think that we have here in the Bahamas, is always being reactive. You know independence is on the same day every year. Make the plan, present it to the government, at least you know that you would have done that and you would possibly have gotten a response beforehand. That way, you can then make plans to do it independently. At the end of the day, you are independent artists. This isn't something that is funded by the government for you to showcase your talent. That is not what this is necessarily about. Yes, it is appreciated that Bahamian artists and anyone who is Bahamian will be a part of the celebration, but that's not exactly what it's for. It's for us to celebrate as Bahamians and to know and remember the accomplishment of our country in this way.
All right, let's get them.
Sure, I'd love to respond to that. Thank you for your question, and I appreciate your concern. Every year I do a show. It's on the DK Nation brand that I created that platforms artists that are hardworking throughout the course of the year that have put up new music. So every year I do a show. In terms of putting my focus and my attention towards the independent show, someone else already has that covered. I don't need to spend any time thinking about that or putting that or producing that show. Someone I trust that someone else already has that covered because they've been doing it for some time now. There's no need for me to take additional time away from my 2-year-old, from my wife, from trying to ensure that the rest of my children are safe, secured, and fed, to make a better life outside of music for those that rely on me. So I never sit on my hands when it comes to doing things that I want my country to be proud of. But as far as the independence celebration, and in fact, it was explained to us yesterday by the minister and his team that the cabinet and the government holds the independence celebration sacred to them. To even use the word independence celebration, no one is. It's unorthodox for you to use that because that is the government's baby. That is cabinet's baby. We are not supposed to touch that. But even still, we are not waiting until the last minute. We are using this opportunity when it would be people will be sensitive to it to speak to future independence celebrations. Yes. So this celebration is set in stone. I'm sure because I've been told who has done the production on this. I'm sure there will be a beautiful, enjoyable event. We have persons that can sing foreign songs better than the artists themselves. You understand? So I know it's going to be great. I know they're talented enough to pull it off. So people will enjoy this. But what I'm speaking to is the message behind that. Should my children want to sing what their forefathers have sung in the style that their forefathers have done, or are we going to imitate the foreigners in order to be respected in our own country?
Wow. So what is the percentage you understand of the makeup of the songs?
That
majority?
All of the songs, not the majority, all of the songs that the choir has been given to sing, all are foreign songs. None are Bahamian. And no music, not rake and scrape, not junkanu, not gumbe, has been put into this music, mixed into the music to even make it mildly Bahamian. The songs are all foreign.
Wow. All right. Getting a message. Someone says in response to the question as well that you all were probably assuming that you'd be included in any event as you have been in every year up to now.
Yeah,
right?
or at least be contacted and told exactly. You know, when you win a championship game, you get the trophies. Eh? You know, so when you do well, you should be rewarded. And this is only one opportunity. Like I said, the government has many opportunities to show appreciation for when we do something big. And sadly enough, it usually doesn't happen until the foreign market recognizes it.
Wow.
You understand? So we're just trying to change that so that we can be a bit more internal with the way we treat one another, and the way we celebrate one another. If somebody does something beautiful here, let's celebrate it. Let's celebrate them.
And I saw a comment also on the fact that they have individuals who feel as though the show has been the same, more of the same. And we have to remember that we have a responsibility, and I'm not speaking about the creatives, I'm talking about just persons who put on a show, who are in charge of the production of the show. They have a responsibility to make sure that the show is interesting. So we have an idea. We had table discussions amongst ourselves, and we said, hey, wouldn't it have been wonderful if instead of seeing me perform, that you would have been able to see a young person, a primary school child, or someone even out of high school come out and sing Islands in the Sun. And then I come and I join them on stage. There are many ways that we can even introduce our Bahamian music to the youth and give them a national. We want to introduce the young people that are up and coming vocalists to the Bahamian public as well. So just being able to sing Islands in the Sun and have a young girl come up there and have her national colors on, and she's on stage and I'm on stage together holding hands, representing the country, will be something that they need to consider in the future. Not just throwing away the baby with the bathwater, but being able to be creative and have that done.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. Callers, hold on for us, please. We'll be back with more. This is Morning Blend Business. We're talking with Dyson Knight and Lady E. You hear us singing that song there, Islands in the Sun. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking about everything, This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and drunk,
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there,
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau, or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
It takes a village to raise a child, and it takes each and every one of us to grow the Bahamas. On the clock, we dive into the stories, we identify the issues, and we engage the people, organizations, and institutions that keep the country running. On the Clock with Aaron Green, weekdays 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
It's happening. And it's all straight talk with no chaser. As Stephen Miller is unleashed on your radio each weekday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's going to be smart talk, ideas, and innovation. Each weekday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Only on Guardian Radio. Your station for fresh news and smart talk. Trust me. You're not going to want to miss this.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, IRCA, is seeking to strike the right balance in setting a new tariff structure for the electricity sector that protects the interests of consumers while also covering the operating, maintenance, and investment costs of public electricity suppliers. This against the backdrop that the government wants present tariffs to support improvements and future investments in electricity supply. The regulator has proposed to have a regulatory process built around an incentive-based regime in the short term and implement a hybrid price cap regulatory regime by 2025. Read more on this in today's Guardian Business section. Power companies in the Bahamas would like to implement a structure establishing a hurricane recovery fund as part of their revenue requirements, a factor that would determine new tariff rates. This revealed in IRCA's recently completed tariff review framework, which requires public electricity suppliers to detail the revenue requirements so that a rate of return may be established and a viable tariff adjustment can be determined. BPL, in its response to IRCA, noting that the consultation document did not address a hurricane recovery mechanism for non-insurable assets. Again, more on this is in today's Guardian Business section. Fidelity Bank Limited has committed to facilitating $5 million in loans as part of the Access Accelerated Small Business Development Center's Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprise Loan Guarantee Program. Fidelity is the first Bahamian commercial bank to sign on to the organization's guarantee program. According to an Access Accelerated statement, the program now has $16 million committed to it through the Bahamas Entrepreneurial Venture Fund, Fidelity, and a third financial institution that's expected to be named soon. And the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation announcing a new chief executive officer. Several months after Jeffrey Beckles stepped away from the post, the Chamber announcing Dr. Walden Russell as the new CEO, effective yesterday. Chamber Chairperson Crystal Rutherford Ferguson saying in a statement that the appointment comes during a challenging time for a country still in the throes of COVID-19 and the economic fallout that has come with it. But noting that Dr. Russell's appointment comes after an exhaustive search to find the right fit for the leadership role. You can read more about Dr. Russell in today's Guardian Business section. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday, your market movers: AML Foods Limited moving 10,000 shares, closing unchanged at $6. J.S. Johnson moving 2,000, closing at $15.50 unchanged. Consolidated Water moving closing unchanged at $2.37, and Emira Incorporated unchanged at $11.18. The BISX All Share Index closing at 1,939.90, unchanged. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Boy, what? I ain't missing no data. Drinking gin and coconut water. Sexy girls, them dipping in water. Couple of them go have to get. I ain't missing no data. Drinking gin and coconut water. Sexy girls, them dipping in water. Couple of them go have to get. I get out of order. You know I get right out of order. I get out of order. You know I get right out of order. See it? I just am waiting. When the time come, no hesitating. These girls on the beach, I rated. This one by you, they get slunking. Slam dunking, cause I drunk. These girls got the bungie pumping. Pushing back like you want something. So I can make her like a fountain. Cause I get out of order. No, I get out of order. I get out of order. No, I get. What they doing is, you notice.
Got a live performance here on Morning Blood Business this morning. Dwight Strong along with Dyson Knight and Lady E. We wish we could be having a joyous celebration with lots of fun going on, but we're talking about serious business this morning. We're talking about the lack of inclusion for secular artists in this year's independent celebrations. They're hoping that they still have time to change some minds.
Not just secular, Bahamian artists.
Okay.
It's gospel, it's rap, it's you have Papa Smurf, who's been doing rap in this country in Bahamian dialect. Bahamian Trey, who is the hottest. He's gotten young people interested in Bahamian music.
But they just had a gospel award show the other day, and Cara Newton received
Yes,
an
yes,
award.
from Freeport. She's from Grand Bahama. Yes,
So I'm talking about celebrating all genres of music.
everybody.
Right, right. Because we're exposed to all genres of music. You understand, and we want people to be encouraged to continue doing that music. One of the hurtful things that happened this year, actually, you mentioned Smurf. Smurf has transitioned to being a rake and scrape artist. So did Johnny Cake too. They were both rappers initially, but they feel as though the only people that get jobs, they get representation, and are noticed are the rake and scrape and Junkanoo artists. So we don't only want to compete in rake and scrape and Junkanoo. We want to compete internationally in rap, R&B, gospel, all these other type genres, and we want to celebrate all those genres here locally. So we have to stop excluding them, and that is why we have to say, instead of saying Bahamian music, we have to say Bahamian artists, because we understand the Bahamian music, for anyone that does not know, is rake and scrape, Junkanoo, and Gumbe. That is the Bahamian genres of music, but Bahamian artists sing all genres of music, from rock and roll to the blues. You understand? So we must, and some of the biggest songs aren't Junkanoo and rake and scrape songs. Johnny Camp was singing funk. You understand? Bahaman was singing pop.
T Connection.
You understand? They were singing R&B. So we have to recognize and stop boxing ourselves in when we are such a diverse, talented people.
Absolutely. All right, we've got some calls coming in, and we've got a lot of text messages. We're going to try to get through those. Caller, are you still there? Thanks for your patience.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight, and to your guests and to the Ride of Bahamas.
Morning.
Dwight, why is it that we can never find a balance in this country, man? Why is it that we always either lean to the left or we lean to the right and there's no real balance? I mean, for me, I think the country needs to be all-inclusive. Independence is not just about gospel or Christian people, and it's not just about the secular world and everything. I mean, it's about all people in the Bahamas inclusive. So why is it that we are segregating and, separating gospel from, secular music or from our indigenous music and stuff like that? Because I don't see why we can't have a stage and we run gospel from 3 to 8, and then you run the secular music or you run your cultural music from 8 to, say, 11 or whatever have you, and make the thing all-inclusive, man. I mean, after all gifts and talents come from God, all right?
Amen.
And God don't enjoy gospel music and not enjoy secular music, because his talents and his gifts is who he put into people. And when you make use of the gifts and talents that God give you, I'm sure that God enjoys that.
Exactly.
I am a more praise and worship music, because for me, I can't tell the difference between gospel music and secular music anyways. So for me, I more enjoy praise and worship because I'm a worship kind of guy. But in any event, all talents come from God, and I think it's time for this country to become all-inclusive, and, man, include everybody, man. Stop the madness.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm sure you agree with that, of
Absolutely.
course. Let's take this call. Yep. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend Business.
Hi, good morning, Dwight, Dawn, and to your guests, Lady E and Dyson.
Hi.
Morning. And also, good morning to the nation. Can you hear me clearly, Dwight?
Yes, you can.
Okay, and to your guests, I believe that we don't value independence, first and foremost, Dwight, Dawn, and to your guests and to the nation. We don't place the level of value and importance on independence that needs to be placed on it. Secondly, I believe that we need to get, in addressing your questions, right, I believe that we need to get to a point in our country where we realize that Bahamianization policy in every aspect of our lives, every day on the calendar, right? And therefore, once we come to the point of independence, Bahamian artists and, the musicians and storytellers and, the various aspects of our culture would be able to come together to a point and say, you know what, we've been doing so well in the course of the year that through this Bahamianization policy that we don't even need to be paid for our services on this special day of independence. We are going to give of ourselves, of our talents, of our services to ensure that the value is placed on celebrating our independence, not just on that day, not just on that week, but perhaps for an entire month long of celebrations to bring the value and elevate the level of thinking as it relates to independence. Also, family, Dwight, when we look at the fact that at a time when we have been suffering over the last 15, 16 months in our country, at a time when the morale in the country is so extremely low, this very symbol of independence could have been used as a symbol to raise the happiness, to raise the level of appreciation, to raise the level of what it means to be a Bahamian in our country, and the government has dropped the ball on it due to budget. That is absolutely unacceptable. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. All right. Let's get to some of these messages here. Someone says, I'm a white Bahamian, former part-time musician, and I'm appalled at the lack of patriotism and disdain this administration has for our local artists. This should be all Bahamian. This text here, you all are so right. I love all music. I just happen to be a gospel artist, and Bahamian culture is very important to me and is among the best in the world. I am the singing deacon. I wrote a number of songs. I also have a musical video on YouTube and on Reverb Nation called I Believe. Okay, the government is wrong. Is so wrong in this vein. This one says, oh boy, boycott the celebration because it's unfair. All Bahamians should be included. We all contributed to this country. Someone says, please ask who is presently being paid other than Bahamians. And I don't know if you understand that question.
Okay, so I understand. I think I understand where they're coming from. They want to know who benefited from this production. Firstly, let me say that the choir is all Bahamian persons. The choir consists of Bahamians. The 3 or 4 Bahamian artists out of the 50 persons that were selected, we recognize in our community, we recognize as Bahamian artists. However, again, the point is that the music that they are singing, the Donnie McClurkin, the Kirk Franklin, the other songs that they have selected are not Bahamian. These persons are not even have not even been given the opportunity to sing their songs. We have a problem with that. We have a big problem with that. That all of the material that this choir and our Bahamian people will be singing for the ecumenical service that will be aired and streamed worldwide for our independence, all of the music, 100% of the music is not Bahamian.
There's a distinction between being a vocalist or a singer and being an artist.
Yes.
Artists sing and create. Vocalists, they sing, and these are the type of these are the people. Most singers, I wouldn't say most. To be a singer, you don't have to be a writer. To be an artist, you have to be a creator. Yes. Okay, so we're talking about people that create things, because when you create it from who you are. And if you are a Bahamian, then you are creating from the essence of the Bahamas. And that is what we're going to celebrate. Another thing I want to speak to one of the text messages, which is the word independence. Independence, wouldn't it mean, I mean, I put it in question form, wouldn't it mean that this is independent of foreign inclusion?
Right, right.
All right, so are you saying then that had this been their own music, they're singing their own stuff, but it was still just limited to gospel groups, would you not have an issue with that, or would that still be a challenge?
We wouldn't have an issue with that portion of it. We would not have an issue with that portion of it.
But you would still feel slighted, though.
I would feel slighted, not on my behalf, but on behalf of everyone. I feel slighted every time that this situation takes place. There are big bands like Spank, Rhythm, Visage, Bahaman, and the number of other bands that become popular and that work hard year in and year out here in the Bahamas. But when it's time to say go to Canada, the government goes to Canada, the government goes this place, the government goes that place, and they take a contingency with them, they piece together bands. As opposed to using the bands that are already. And that has happened. Sometimes they have used bands, but often throughout the course of my 20 years of my time in this industry, I've seen that happen, and that makes me feel slighted. So it's the same situation here. If you have people that work hard year in and year out and have been have gained on their own merit and with their own time, with their own resources, have gained the appreciation of the Bahamian people, then those are the people that should be at least be contacted and ask, hey, we would like for you to be a part of the independence celebration. This is what the budget is. Can you do it?
Exactly. And again, to just piggyback off of my brother Dyson, it's the fact that this Bahamian thing is more than just gospel. You know, we went through a lot this past, I would say even 2 years, because we went through Dorian, and the Bahamas is hurting with this pandemic and the fact that you have families that don't know how they're going to eat. You know, it's really a time where we at Independence, at the pinnacle, we need to celebrate the fact that we are survivors, that we are more than just who we think we even are. We are greater. We are this independence is supposed to be about celebrating our way of life. This culture thing is about the Bahamian way of life. It's not just the gospel aspect. It's so much bigger than that. So to be able to showcase the entirety of who we are, I think if we don't do that, we'll be at a disservice.
I want to point out, too, because I think it's very important. I want to say this again. This is not political. And because of the time, because of the season, people are making it political. Yeah. I know that the PM is very busy trying to get this country vaccinated right now, amongst a whole bunch of other things he's dealing with. I'm not sure exactly if he probably was too busy to realize that he entrusted something this important to a person that wasn't even ratified. But I don't even want to get into that part of it. So there's some open space here, and we don't want to be the political pawns in the football to say, hey, we're going to use these artists to jeopardize the F&M campaign or to improve the PLP campaign or whoever else's campaign. You understand? We simply want to have respect for our industry.
Well, that's an interesting point. This text here saying, well, the secular artists will soon be asking for a break during the election season because you'll be performing at so many rallies, so no need for you all to be salty. That's an interesting point. Now, what do you say to that? And I'm going to...
Oh, that's the time to make money.
Right.
That's
so
the time
maybe
to make money, Dwight. I mean,
to those who say, well, no, okay, that's your time coming soon, so don't worry about this.
But like I said, it ain't about the money.
It's not about the money.
It's not about the money. It's about respect for the industry.
And turning the question around, I mean, will show your displeasure for how you were treated at this point when they do come knocking?
Who do I show it to?
Who do you show it to? Well, that's an interesting question.
You understand? I would support the government that I feel will run the country best. You understand? And that's straight and narrow. That's what I say. I'm very focused on who this blame should be. When Bahamas Carnival came around under the PLP government, being a soca artist, I was upset. I was upset at how they were doing it. I was on the radio stations then, and people saying, yeah, but you use a soca artist, you can get this, you can get that. Yes, but it still ain't right. And here I am now again, like the wife and I've already written a song that speaks to how this government handled the pandemic, and it actually is a pro song. I am appreciative of the fact that my family did not die during this pandemic. Yes. I appreciate that. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit here and just fight for the sake that I want a contract or I want a job. I want a better country.
Yes, exactly.
Right, we're running out of time, but this person is saying, I suggested that the Bahamian artists put together their own celebration going forward. And to heck, I'm editing with the government. This would have a larger turnout than anything the government does anyway.
Pushing for that.
Yeah?
We are. We're really strong in our position about taking this out of any government's hands. We need to be able to put seed money into ourselves. And our Bahamian Cultural Show is one of those important forums that we need to be able to have the monies to showcase every year, not just this year. We need to be able to have the national interest at heart. And like Dyson said, we need to be able to take time out to celebrate the hard work that any Bahamian, once you've put in the work,
any industry,
once you've put in the work and you've taken this country to even the global stage, you deserve to be able to be recognized.
Yeah. Well, all right. We will see what happens. We're going to keep watching this. This is very interesting, and I think, as you said, this is a bigger story, not just
thank you for this
focused on
opportunity.
independence, but
to you and your listeners.
It says a lot to how we feel, how we value our people, unfortunately, right? But again, thank you very much. Wishing you all the best, Dyson Knight and Lady E. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And stay tuned on the clock with Erin Green coming up next. I believe she's going to have more on this, from what I understand. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody.